That worst faith characterization, the like total hyperbole, is literally what people have been doing to Hassan for like 2 years.
Well, how long do you think Kuihman's been obsessed with me?
Well, you really just responded to my point with a clear definition of this term that I'm trying to use in a nebulous way to brute force my point through? Oh, you must be reading that. You must be reading that. So let's get into this Aiden debate.
And the personality you're invested in.
This is for those who don't know, this is round 2 of Aiden v Destiny and Whick. Meant to be just Aiden versus Whick, but Whick couldn't fight his own battle, so equal Destiny.
Which is like sort of like cult-like mentality as opposed to agreeing with like the individual presentation of positions or believing I lost on substance.
Sure. I mean, that obviously happens. I think that we can all agree that in any community of a sufficient size, there are going to be people who simply stand their man, so to speak, right? Who defend their streamer daddy no matter what. And this happens on all sides of all debates and has for a very long time. I guess my question for you, because I was there and I obviously have my opinion of how that went. And I'll just be honest. I don't think you did well, and we're gonna talk about why.
Sure.
But yeah, can you just, out of curiosity, can you give me what do you think was your strongest moments in the debate?
Yeah. So
in what way? Just let me finish here. In what way do you think that you won overall?
Yeah.
And what does winning mean in this context?
You're like, what? This is like so f***ing lame. The debate is about whether Aiden won the last debate. Are we for real? Why don't you just argue the points on your own, Whick?
Sure. So my position going into that was that the assertion that this was a doxing server was not substantiated by the evidence provided, which I stood by at that point in time. And for the evidence presented to me and Dickers in that debate,
guys, this is immediately making me switch off, man. I can't lie.
Presented to us.
Ooh, we're gonna look in.
Evidence of doxing was presented to you, right? And when I figured out what that was, I immediately
we care about the did Aiden win the debate? Okay, guys, that's what we care about tonight.
In that regard, because I didn't know about that. Once again, I'm not in the server. But when they had the opportunity to lay out the argument in their evidence, they failed to actually substantiate it at the time of that argument, and that was my position going into it.
Yeah, I just don't know why he's hedging too much as well. It's just like me. They didn't substantiate it at all. They didn't substantiate the point at all. If you were seriously arguing that there was zero doxing ever in that server or any server in these communities, obviously that would be but I don't think you are arguing that. You're arguing the character of the server and the communities. And that comes down to whether something is pervasive, allowed, how it's handled when it comes up, because that's what it comes down to in every community. Because you can never control every random chatter. It's like precog, stop them from doing bad stuff in advance. You just have to handle it when it happens.
That the point specifically I think I did the strongest in was when they tried to use the like Tectone Church thing as evidence of doxing, but that was just because Destiny like completely didn't know the context of the whole like the mall thing that was not like trying to pinpoint his location at the time. That was trying to pinpoint whether or not he was lying about witnessing a mass shooting. He wouldn't have been present at that location anymore.
Okay. So I guess a couple questions right off then. Do you stand by your assertion that no doxing happened in that server, or have you changed your mind on that?
I have changed my mind on that because somebody somebody
no way
presented me with evidence of
why would you assert in a server that you haven't seen literally every single log of there was never any doxing? Yeah, I just don't know why you'd ever even assert that or accept that as being your assertion. It's like stupid. Like doxing happens everywhere all the time. You just have to moderate the people that do it.
Instance of doxing occurring in that server, and I said at the time, at timestamp 2:20 in the debate, or 2 hours 20 minutes in the debate itself, just present me with evidence that doxing occurred, and I will happily call it. I will happily admit as such and take corrective action.
Well, I have something from a little bit earlier, 2:17:01. Let me pull that up. It might be helpful because there's a couple questions I have at this point.
Yep.
But let's watch this first. Give me a second. I'll put it on full screen for us.
Okay, we're like speeding this up,
You got it
actually.
up,
I just can't do it, man.
Muchacho?
Wait, hold up, I'm pulling them now. By the way, out of curiosity, you're like probably 2 decades older than me, so I'm embarrassed I'm asking you. Do you know how to hide yourself as a participant on your own end, out of curiosity?
It's
okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't.
I don't. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries.
If this is yeah, I'm not good at tech. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I just didn't have you up now. All good.
Yeah, sure. But
embarrassing because you're old as shit, but how do you do this?
If you could actually demonstrate to me that doxing was occurring in this server I will unequivocally denounce whoever the fuck was doing it and the people that stood by and saw
That
it.
means fucking nothing
The
to me.
people that stood by and saw it. So what? The people that were, but not the whole server. You would still have this exact same call to the commentary committee rally. You would only disavow. How would you even know who was active at the time and saw it? Would it just be people that responded to it, people that liked it, and then everybody else on the server is fair game, or like they're cool?
I mean, no, I'd probably be okay disavowing the actual creators in the server even if they weren't active at the time.
What is
Okay. So have you since, now that you have been presented evidence, have you since denounced the creators in the server at the time?
Yeah, I think Kosher Kathy was like an idiot and shouldn't moderate a server.
So, I'm not just talking about Kosher Kathy here. I'm talking, and I don't think you were as well. There were many more creators than just Kosher Kathy in there at the time, correct?
Okay, so my statement specifically was about the creators of the server. I know there were like 100 people in there, but obviously I understand that, and I'm sure you are as well. You're in a lot of servers.
Is that this like retarded Aiden's not being clear about his point here? It's people actually knew about. Obviously, like, you can't do anything about something you don't know about. People are in hundreds of Discord servers. They don't fucking know everything that's happening in every fucking Discord server they're in.
See every message. I'm totally okay with denouncing people that saw it at the time and said nothing, or people that ran the server and didn't delete it. So so the person that ran the
problem,
server.
and this is why I think you lost.
Yep.
Is you had an indefensible position because there's no way to know who saw those messages and who did not see those messages. We can't. It's, as you said, it's an unfalsifiable thing to say. So given that there is really no way to prove who saw, who didn't see, and considering also that,
dude, people literally, this is like such a retarded point. Okay, then Wick, you're culpable for all the doxes DGG have done over the last year, then, because you stood by, Wick. You could have had influence over it, and you stood by. There you go. You're culpable. Enjoy.
that you were banned at the time, so you couldn't even go back and check any of these things, right? To come onto a stream and defend the proposition that this server had no doxing in it, right? You kind of set yourself up for an auto loss.
I don't think so.
And to be clear, right? Like, I understand you may not have had the information at the time, but they did, and they were able to show that information. The information has since been corroborated, not just by other creators, but by the server itself. Like your position was just wrong, and that was demonstrated not only in the debate itself, but after the debate.
Well, no.
Would
So
you disagree with anything I just said?
Yeah. So I disagree with sort of the overall premise here, because what I was doing was as opposed to making an argument myself, I was making a counter argument to an argument that had been laid out on a stream with Chad, Kuihman, Dan, and Destiny. The accusation was made that doxing had occurred in the server. They presented their evidence, and the evidence they presented at the time did not substantiate the claim itself. So I go into that debate. My claim is that the evidence they're substantiating and the given sort of aggressive, expectation of acceptance of claims being made was not justified by evidence presented at that point in time, and that's just true. The evidence that changed my position came out later. So
but you understand how these debates don't just exist within the prompt. Well, let me just ask you this: do you think that you can win specifically on a single point in a debate, but still lose overall?
I mean, if it in like a less formal conversation, sure. I think this was like a planned thing where we kind of knew what was being debated and that the overall premise, the overall argument being made. I feel like if you walk away from that without being proven wrong on the overall broader argument, then I think the debate itself is not lost.
Okay, we may have just a fundamental difference of opinion on how these things work. So for me, and I'll just tell you, when I think about what does winning a debate mean, and
wow, we need this, guys. We need this. What does winning a debate mean,
at this point? Probably over 1,000 debates at this point in my career. I think I have a pretty good instinct on how.
Okay, when does guys? This goes on for hours. When does like the lab and Stardust shit happen?
Works, what doesn't work, and all these things, right? And I'm not claiming to be a perfect debater. I've lost debates.
I don't know I can do it all. I thought I might be able to. I was like, I'm gonna wake up this morning. By this morning, I mean, about 10 p.m. at night. Wake up this morning. Wake up this evening. I'm like, I'm gonna farm out this fucking Aiden Whick Destiny debate. I'm just sit there and watch it. But I'm immediately getting
it's important
ADHD.
Context, it's a slow burn.
Thank you for the $10 out plus. Hugely appreciated.
The key to winning a debate is persuasion. That's what you want to do. You want to persuade the people, right, that you are correct and the other people are incorrect. Now, in the course of this specific debate, this was taking place in a context of a discourse that had been going on for at least a week before we had that discussion.
If I can't see your wrist button, I'm literally not listening to you. You're saying words, and I'm not processing them.
Right? Probably a little longer. And it's still going on. The discourse is still happening, right? And so Destiny's and later Dan's goal in this was to persuade the people who were participating in this discourse that what they were saying was correct and what their opponents saying was obfuscation, incorrect, that they were doing wrong things. In the course of that discussion, I was persuaded that they had been correct in their claims. And I would posit that I think most people who were involved in the discourse, who came away from that, were persuaded that, oh, there was doxing taking place in that server. And as you mentioned, this has since been corroborated.
Whick.
We since now know this,
Whick.
right? So obviously in the course, in the case of the discourse,
What persuaded you, Whick, in that
just
debate?
lost.
Yeah, what persuaded you in the course of that debate?
Seeing the two things. Obviously, the number one thing, the most persuasive thing, was seeing my docs. And again, I did not know at the time that it was from that specific server, but later I was made aware that it was from that specific server because the server itself admitted that and said, "Oh, yeah, our bad.
So how
It was there."
Whick,
So that's number one. Number two, what persuaded me is the argument that you.
No, I like how he frames that as a bad thing. What else should they do? What else should be done? Like, yeah, you moderate, you accept responsibility, and you deal with it and you move on. What else is there to be done?
Making, and I understand why you were making it, was that there was an absence of evidence. But I don't find that persuasive because an absence of evidence is not necessarily evidence of absence, right? And I think that this debate was a good demonstration of that concept. Would you disagree?
Sure, of course. But I don't think we go into things, especially when we're talking about like instances of wrongdoing. I guess my default assumption is not wrongdoing occurred until it's proven that it didn't. When somebody's alleging wrongdoing, I believe it's their burden to lay out why they believe it's occurred, and when they're given an opportunity to do so and they have failed, then of course I'm going to make a counter argument. Now, the thing that persuaded you was not a part of the debate itself because that evidence was never introduced to the opposition. That was introduced to you personally and never utilized in the course of the debate to combat anything that we were saying. So I don't think it would be fair.
It was, but it was done through me, right? And you understand why they did that way, correct?
To get the moderator on their side.
Guys,
No.
we're skipping in a bit. So how's it going when Destiny joins?
I unfortunately, despite being friends with the person that posted this PII, not through the Destiny shit, I was friends with him through Spicy or whatever. The person that posted, I unfortunately had to remove them from my server. I say unfortunately because I don't think this is like a bad person that intended to go and like dox. I think they just saw a tweet and linked it. Unfortunately, that's still the dissemination of PII, and they're on our ass right now, and that's obviously something that needs to be moderated. If I know about it, is this person irrevocably damaged in my eyes? No. If they seem to understand that what they did was wrong, it was from like a year ago, and I probably will allow them back in my server at some point. So long as this behavior is acknowledged to be wrong, they can apologize for it, explain it, and we'll never do it again, right? It didn't happen in my server. It happened somewhere else.
It's not pre-made.
That's enough. Yeah, I don't think this is taking this seriously. I don't. I think that you saying that he didn't intend to dox me. What did he intend to do with this? It was obviously personal information, right? We could at least see to that was obvious.
Yeah, it seems like you reposted your PII, which is why I removed this from my server.
So when you say you don't think he intended to dox me, right? What do you mean by that?
I think he thought the photo of you was funny and then just like sent the tweet, but it had.
I think that's probably the wrong way to put it. Aiden should probably be arguing he doesn't think it was intended to like cause harassment, right? He wasn't like trying to use the PII to cause harassment. It probably is still doxing. It's being used to fuck with him in some way, but.
So that would be your PII, and that wouldn't be okay.
Okay.
I don't think I'm saying anything that's that crazy here. I gotta be honest. I mean, if you feel like something I'm saying is like that off base, tell me. We can engage with that, but it just seems a little performative.
I think that you would have a far different standard if I found out that Mr. Mooten had posted your PII or someone that you were friends with PII in my server, laughed about it, and I said, "Oh, that wasn't intentional, Doc." I think that you would rightly.
Sure, so you can make up a scenario, but I've actually been consistent on this. Somebody posted my phone number and tried to get me swatted. That person, after significantly apologizing to me, explaining to me what was going through their mind at the time, and seemingly understanding how inappropriate that was, I forgave them, and I haven't, brought this up to them since. I don't really actively associate with them anymore, but if they wanted to, play video games or hang out or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily take issue with that. I've been consistent when it's happened to me, right? I'm a big believer in redemption. I'm a big believer in change, and I don't believe that people are like irrevocably bad, so long as there is some understanding of wrongdoing and willingness to change. I've literally said this about Destiny. I've said I would be, if I believe Destiny was genuinely remorseful for shit, I would be fine. I wouldn't be using this against them. I just don't believe that's the case, right? I hold the standard consistently.
Real?
Any
Wait, so
thoughts?
what are you guys arguing about right now? Are you talking about the tweet that was posted in that Snark server?
Yes. And apparently someone's been distributing it to at least to Aiden. I don't know who else. And I
And
want to know
wait, what was the quote about, or what is he saying about the tweet that was in the Snark server?
He's saying that, well, first of all, he, again, being banned from the Snark server, could not have seen it in the Snark server, so someone had to give it to him. And I'm curious who's passing around my docs. That's my first question, right? Because obviously, he was banned. He couldn't have checked it there. So where did he get it? He says he doesn't remember who gave it to him.
Unironically, as I said before, there were a litany of claims being made that I wanted to follow up on and verify, cover my own ass, and I spoke to a myriad of people about various things, and amongst those people, somebody at some point showed it to me. I actually don't remember which specific person it was, but I'm sure whichever of those people it was knew that I wouldn't disseminate it, right? And I didn't. I've never disseminated your docs. My only interest in verifying that this happened was to remove a doxer from my community.
I don't care if they thought you would distribute it or not.
Well, obviously
they
not.
were showing you my docs. I was not okay with you seeing my docs, or I would have given it to you as evidence, right?
I'm sorry. I'll try to erase it from my mind.
I was not okay with you seeing my personal name or information, and someone decided to give it.
Dude, I'm not literally, bro. It's so crazy. Wick's making arguments like this. Let's watch this bit.
And to be clear, most of the reasons they're attacking me, not all of it, but most of the reasons they're not. And that's so weird to think about it. That is nothing, right? That's what they want. Like, it's not, and that's so weird to think about it. That is not entirely personal. That I'm just here to hurt another guy, right? They're just wanting to hurt me so that this other guy gets hurt. It's a weird feeling, okay? It's very weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I've been struggling, okay?
People hate you all on your own.
But then they do like not only secondary people, right? But tertiary.
Yeah,
what are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? This is insane. This is levels of crazy that boggle my mind. And I want to be clear, and I know I'm leading with the doxing stuff, and that's obviously the catalyst of all this. But I also want to make it clear that that's not even the worst part in a real way. It is and it isn't, because you can only get doxed once, right? And once it's out there, it's out there.
So how does this work?
TLDR of that.
Guys, how does this work? Explain this.
And what they could do, doc.
Either once it's out there, or you're super mad that Aiden's seen it. There's another part to this as well. There's another part where he just keeps banging on about the progressive victory thing, the progressive victory filing, which obviously, doxed him before, which he says repeatedly in this stream. He repeatedly says basically where to find it. It's fucking insane. And then he's freaking out that Aiden might have seen it when you literally broadcast on your stream every day. Not every day, sorry, but multiple times in one day you're saying where to find it. It's so fucking absurd. It's so blatantly dishonest.
To you, and I want to know who is doing that. Did they only give it to you, or did they give it to other people? Who else did they distribute it to? I'm very curious as the answer to these questions.
Sure, and I'd be happy to look at, as I said before, I'd be, if I
Wait,
gave...
so who was the person? Well, are you saying somebody else posted it in your community?
But no, I would have spoken to people privately about this. I was attempting to follow up with people that were in that server at the time, to verify that this did in fact happen, and you guys weren't making this up. Because I wasn't at the... And to be fair, I understand now, knowing the nature of what it was, why evidence couldn't be provided at the time, but obviously I'm not necessarily going to take you as your word for it. Once I found out that happened, my only interest in figuring out that it happened was to take corrective action, and when I did, I took corrective action, because I don't condone doxing you, anyone around you, Whick, and it doesn't help me at all. It doesn't serve my purposes. It's a wrong thing to do. I don't want to get doxed, so obviously I don't want to give you guys a justification to do it to me. And once that happened, the person was removed from my server.
What do you think it means that it was posted in that Snark server and nobody really said anything about it? Nobody seemed to say this is probably not okay, or we shouldn't remove this, or...
Sure. So it was what, 2 weeks into the server? I don't think everyone that was presently in it when you guys got the logs had been in there at that point. But that shows a degree of negligence and stupidity that I'm not okay with.
Why do you say negligence and stupidity?
Negligence and stupidity because there should have been enough moderation where a mod that saw that should have removed that, I guess, right?
Well, maybe a mod saw it and they decided not to remove it.
Well, if a mod saw it and decided not to remove it, then they're a bad person, and I would be happy to.
So then it wouldn't be stupidity or negligence. Why would we assume that over just maliciousness?
So it's the stupidity. So I'm almost certain, knowing how I use Discord,
because unless you've got some actual reason to believe as malice, then why would you assume malice?
Personally don't see every single message. I'm sure the vast majority of people in that server
never saw this instance.
So stupidity and negligence would be assumed in the instance of not having people on standby that would have seen this occurring and done it. If there was negligence occurring, which there very well could have been, right? I would need to see some evidence of that and then be totally willing to condemn it. As I saw it.
Nobody reported it? Nobody told a mod? Nobody mentioned anything about it?
They should
People
have.
saw. Well, but then again,
Nobody
would you
reported
assume-
it to a mod in a server that was like unmoderated. Nice one.
That would be negligence, right? If somebody saw whoever did verifiably see it,
that would be they're supporting.
Sorry,
the
malice.
content,
I meant malice. I'm malice.
right? Oh, sure, yeah. So people responded to it, right?
People. I don't know if people were responding to it. I only saw the message in and of itself.
Well, I think was Rita the one who posted it or responded to it? And
It
then
was.
QQ
It was Rita that posted it.
Yeah, and then QQ laughed at it, right? Were they a mod in there at the time?
Did QQ laugh at it? I thought Dan walked that one back.
No,
Well,
I can
sorry,
confirm.
let me be clear. Hold on. I
They
don't
weren't
know if they
a mod-
laughed
they
at it.
weren't a
I
mod
know
at
they
the
typed
time.
LOL. It is possible they didn't laugh in real life.
Oh, well, I'm okay. Obviously, I'm not like I know what you mean, right? If they said I could grant you that, if they just typed LOL in response to it, that wouldn't be okay either, right? I just
Was
haven't
QQ
seen
mod
that.
in there at the time?
I'm not sure.
If multiple people see a thing, like the obvious thing here is that like if multiple people saw the thing, and by the way,
It's hard to explain like what's actually going on here, but it's like, you know, if you were to ever actually see the evidence, which you won't, because hopefully no one will ever release it, it's like not immediately obvious at a glance that there's anything untoward about it. Only if you knew to check or were thinking to check would you really clock anything, or if you like paid attention, I guess.
this was like you acknowledged the Rita person went searching for this, right? So they either found it on. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with all the doxes of people around me that get posted on Kiwi Farms, but they either went searching for his docs on Kiwi Farms or they went searching on Twitter for this, right? This didn't just pop up.
I guess they could have. I haven't figured. I don't know the exact process in which they found it. That could totally be possible as well. If that's true as well, that makes it worse.
Sure. Well, I mean, it must be what happened, right? Because the source of this thing is like 9 years old, I think, right? So.
Yeah. If that's how that happened, then yeah, that's bad.
Okay, so we have a thing that was dug up from a long time ago. We've got responses in there that are kind of just like laughing at it. And then nobody ever reported this to any server mods. Nobody mentioned it to anybody. Then it seems like it's probably just like an acceptable norm for that server. No, isn't that like the obvious?
Well, I don't know if it would be an acceptable norm if it only happened once, 2 weeks into the server, and then never happened again. And the second it was made aware to like anyone who actually has like a form of like influence, like the main critics, they immediately like took corrective action. When
the
they
corrective action only came when it was blown up publicly, right?
I guess, but like for people, but
No,
like
no, not I guess. Yes, the only corrective action
Well,
happened after
It was never brought up privately, so you could make that argument if you'd even attempt to bring it up privately, but you didn't. You were choosing it as a sick own.
Well, you know, but no, that's not true. You blowing it up publicly was also the moment we found out about it. When was this presented to any of us in private prior to you blowing it up publicly? The public blow up just
at the very
coincides
least-
with us learning about it.
At the very least, Rita and QQ saw it. I don't know who else responded after.
Yes, and anyone who knew about it that didn't take action at that point in time needs to answer for that because that's not okay, right?
It's not a matter of like anybody who knew about it though, right? Like it's obviously just like kind of probably a norm for the server at least
No,
at that time. and
what
they
interest
cared
do like for example like me?
Well, if it was a norm, then there'd be more
It's not a
examples,
norm.
right?
It hurts
Just real
us.
quick, I have a gentleman who says he was in the server, saw it happen, and can recount. I don't know if he's being serious, but let's, in the interest of my curiosity, I'll bring him on for a moment and see what he has to
Oh, so I have
mate,
questions
fucking
about this because I was in the
Darkbringer,
Snark
bro.
Left server when this happened. I vaguely recall it. I'm pretty sure I was there. What I remember seeing was the aftermath. I never saw the actual docs, and I was told by people in the server that it was the PV leak. So it was
say.
like
It was not to be
considered.
clear.
Yeah,
just-
I trust you when you
I
say
didn't
that.
even-
So that's what I'm wondering because that's what I was told. So like I was a member of the Snark Left server. I came into the server and I saw people talking about the
Okay,
docs.
show any
never
discussion at
remember
the
seeing the
time.
docs.
That I didn't believe
And when I
that.
asked about it, I was told what it now seems like a bogus excuse that it was the PV docs, which in a lot of people's opinion at the time was like a low stakes kind of, oh, this was already leaked by this many people, so it's like just people
I
disseminating
mean, it's literally the same info, but
publicly sourced information, like which is obviously still bad, obviously still not great. And by the way, Aiden, like what I want to ask you, Aiden, is do you think that if somebody sources a bunch of publicly available information, gathers it, and then makes that person a target with their language, either moralizing language or something like that?
yeah, I think Dogbringer. I'm going to be charitable and say Dogbringer was confused and confusing that with the Hassan stuff that was on stream. Food shops joins. Oh my god. Okay, let's get just food shops bit. Let's see.
So
what
just to
this
be
food
very
on.
clear, okay, I have debated people who are far smarter than you, okay, and even they ran away. All right, so it's not
Wow.
that. It's not about that. It's that you, like, I already debated you 2 times. Okay, like, what else do you want to talk about? I guess that
Well,
we
you're
haven't
making.
already
I don't
covered.
remember exactly. So obviously, I says weeks. It's weird that you're coming in now. Well, Destiny's here to follow up on that debate because I'd asked you how
Well,
long ago did
I
I ask you to
mean-
debate me? I don't remember exactly what I wanted to debate you on
No,
at the
just
time.
ignore him. Just ignore him.
I
Okay,
just remember.
if
I
he
just
says
remember.
anything, I'll shut him up.
No,
okay?
I'm no,
If he
no,
says
no.
anything,
I'm
I'll
not saying he's
shut
doing.
up.
I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong right now. I'm saying it's just like I think it's a little cowardly for you to not take the offer up at the time and only now show up when he's here. I think that's like a little bit cowardly, right?
Dude,
Let's
there's
take a
like
switch
some
with me.
racist Asian joke, like, you know, I've defeated opponents far stronger than you in like an Asian accent or something that could be done here, but I can't be bothered. I'm too tired.
Like, oh yeah, by the way,
Well,
Aiden's here.
okay,
I'm like,
so you didn't know that I was trying to debate you at the time?
Okay, would you consider it cowardly?
Can you answer my
like,
question?
After debating you
Can
twice?
you answer my question?
Like, why would you
Can answer my
consider it
question?
cowardly after
Can
debating
you answer
you
my
twice?
question?
And then...
Did you know that I wanted to debate you at the time?
Are we gonna debate about the topic you want to talk about?
So you can't answer.
Okay,
So you
so
can't
hold
answer the
on,
question.
hold
Got
on,
it.
both of you. If you guys are just going to argue about another
It's
debate
not
that has
funny
nothing
enough,
to do with
nice.
this, don't particularly give a shit.
Yep.
I don't care. Do you
So
have
true.
anything for Aiden on this specific topic that we're talking about tonight?
Food shop
No,
snubbed.
outside of
It's
the fact that
over.
I
It's
think
fucking
I just feel
over.
bad for Aiden, just
Snubbed
primarily
again.
because it just feels like he's being used as a pawn by people like Kuihman and
Unlike
J
food
Stelk.
shops.
I find it kind of sad that Kuihman and J Stelk wouldn't debate Steven after that one, especially like Chud Logic blowout, right? And I think that Aiden, I
Run
think
it back
just
repeatedly on the guy's
Kuihman refusing
show
to
who's
debate
like literally fucking desperate to prod you with, you know, alleged. I might be
Steven, I don't-
man.
What Kuihman could do right
No,
now.
I mean, Steven has said many times,
What
like, oh yeah,
Kuihman
you
could
can
do
come
right
in.
now if he wanted, and someone could DM him, right? And I'm sure people will. He could jump backstage right now in my Discord, and I will pull him in, and he can have a chat with Destiny and I. That is something that he could do. But Food Shops, if you don't have anything else, thank you for calling in.
No, nothing else. Yeah, all right.
And we'll talk to you later. Okay. But
Okay,
J
wait.
Stalk too, right? What up,
Oh,
Destiny?
guys, nowhere near any of this. I'm just curious.
No one DM'd me.
Have you seen all the Doobie things?
Chat.
No, I've seen.
Wait, no, I'm asking. I was asking Whick.
Oh,
Have you
sorry.
seen the Doobie?
I haven't.
Let's see some evil
that's
doobie messages,
necessarily-
guys. Let's see these.
I
I'm
think the
going to
question
just try
was,
and move
would
through
you
this with a
allow
bit of pace.
pedophile to describe anal
Guys,
sex?
if you're enjoying this content, please remember to support the stream, okay, guys? Many ways you can do that. First of all, if you're one of the 400 people watching right now, but one of the 350 who haven't liked the stream just yet, you can move your cursor to the thumbs up and click it, or press the thumbs up on your mobile device. Either one would be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through a Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight your message, and read it out on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF, that'll be highlighted in chat, then I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yearning for Britpol, actually. Yeah, real. Yeah, I would consider it, but this Whick retard. I've spoken about the Whick thing before. Again, I'm not gonna keep speaking about it again and again. But yeah, I would consider it. Thank you for the 1600 yen, Ghoul. Huge appreciated. For the good luck super sticker and the $3 from Weezer Liar, dude, with the Shiba Inu saying my hero. Thank you, thank you. Remember, guys, yeah, donate to thank Aiden for this content.
Sex in the presence of a minor. And your answer was, it depends.
To me, I mean.
Doobie says, that wasn't the question, shake my head. I think discussing sex around them is fine in some contexts. We're talking about primarily high school students right now. They've gone through sex ed. Anal sex? Anal cavity? Anal? Doobie says, as long as it isn't too graphic or flirty, I think it's fine. Would depend on the specific combo, though.
Here's the next one.
This is North says, did taking screenshots of the evidence mean you had CSAM on your computer? Doobie says, while I was reporting it, sure. This is why I mentioned the Gideon thing yesterday. Sometimes you do need to make copies of it to report it. Valorfax says, not the one for sending your own photos at your own consent. And Doobie says, then you delete all the copies.
Thank you for the
Obviously,
$10 out
I'll
plus
show
for the
you.
Shiba Inu super sticker rolling around the floor. Thank you.
Next one.
Okay. This is from his admin chat. It looks like in the politics.
Guys, here's my 20-minute presentation on Doobie saying, you know, optically bad or sometimes probably legitimately bad things about how boundaries should operate online in chat rooms of mixed age groups. Guys, it's fucking over. Guys, it's fucking over. Now we can forget about everything wrong Destiny's ever done because Doobie's a bad Discord moderator and a debate bro. It's done, guys. It's over. It's over.
Discord server. Parth says, yes, I did. Of course, I can do that. What do you mean? Because I told them everyone to join the discussion and reach common ground before detaining. And when I wrote that, I actually didn't even look into that case. It was due to unnecessary unexplained detains that was previously dealt with. Parth says, I have a few stuff to say on that. I feel like it doesn't really address what I said, but I'll try to respond after I complete this thing quickly. Doobie says, take your time, sir. I'm curious, though. If we found out that this guy lived in a country with an age of consent of 14, and he was talking to a 15-year-old from another server sexually in DMs, would you say he should be banned? Or do you think we shouldn't ban because there's no connection to this server? Knives says, I don't know why you're acting like Terry doesn't know any better. Dude literally sends thousands of DMs to minors and spends retarded amounts of money on e-girl who are openly taking advantage of him. It's not healthy for this dude to be on the server. Knives also, in response to the I'm curious though question of Doobie, says, I'm pretty sure Discord is
Like,
strict.
this is just Doobie saying he's not moderating off platform shit. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? Oh my
It's sort
God.
of like conversion therapy, where they try to shift
Oh
their
my
actions
God.
upwards over like years of therapy and like conditioning. It's very, very difficult, and it's usually not successful.
So you'd allow
So I think
pedophiles in the
that's
server?
interesting.
You'd allow
No,
pedophiles
I've
on
got
the
a
server?
question to No, you've already asked that question. I want to ask a question. If there was like, you know, you was allowed to allow pedophiles within the server, would you get?
You
rid of
don't care about the
minors and
Doobie stuff,
protect them,
but
or
the
would you keep-
politics server is poorly
I'm
moderated.
being told, Destiny.
Wait. Before you're being told something, you had a mod earlier. I think it was a mod, Parallax, that donated $10 and said, Steven is lying through his teeth right now. Doobie has never said this. What did I lie about?
W
Good
Parallax.
question. Now, I will say, and Parallax told me to tell you this, that
Mhm.
he, let me read it directly, that he's not jumping on a stream with you after a DGGer implied he was going to dox, and I'm quoting, going to dox me, then held a 90-minute argument about me in politics. And that is on Destiny.
Wait, why would that matter? If they were going to dox him, wouldn't they just say, well, I'll dox... Wait, hold on. If that DGGer said, assuming this is even a DGGer, right? If they had said, well, I'm going to dox Doobie if he doesn't show up and debate Destiny, does that mean he would suddenly debate me? That's like the dumbest argument you could ever give for anything, right?
I'm telling you what he said to tell you that.
Oh, sure, I know. I'm just saying, I'm just illustrating how absurd that argument is.
Wait,
right?
is that the Parallax guy saying he personally was threatened to be doxxed, or is he talking about Doobie threatening to be doxxed?
No, he's saying that he was, and he
I
a
think
couple days
is
ago.
Parallax not just saying he doesn't want to engage with people that are likely to fucking dox him? I think that's just totally reasonable. No, okay. Let's start moving on. Let's get towards the Stardust bit.
That 4 years or 5 or 6 years ago, however long ago, that was considered dox adjacent. That means that people have carte blanche to just dox me and my family
No,
forever.
absolutely not. No.
So now let's kick that behind. So let's say
that
that
was
in
what I
my,
was
in my
trying to
case,
say.
well, sure, but like I'm curious, like why do you think, from your perspective, from what you've heard from everything, why do you think I wanted to unmask, or I unmasked Jistigal?
Well, I think you're mad at him. Very mad at him, and I think that's a good way to fuck with somebody in regards to it effectively fucks with them.
Why do you think I'm mad at him?
I think that he's been like a super harsh critic of yours. He's like A-logged you. I'd probably be mad at someone that was A-logging me. It depends on, I guess, the nature of. It seems like a lot of the. I just personally have always found coverage of you in regards to A-logs. Not that I disagree with that. I just found it boring, so I wasn't necessarily like super engaged.
Sure,
but
well, I think if the doxing is going to be as big of a deal, like, isn't it kind of important to know, like, what do you think I would say why I doxed Jistigal?
You'd probably have some justification due to something he said or did that I don't know about. That would make it like super convoluted. I have to be in the weeds of it to know. I know you'd believe it was justified because he did something.
Just for my edification, can you give us that argument now, Destiny? Because
yeah,
let's hear it.
So I'm dating a girl at the time who had been dating a quasi celebrity person. I don't want to get too deep into it, but this person has active following on a snowboard on lolcow or whatever, and
Jason was so horrible to her that she's in the server now. Because, you know, he was, like, moderating against people talking shit about her back in the day and telling people not to drag her into it for no reason. Because he was just so horrible to Destiny's ex-girlfriend that she left him and joined Jason's server.
But at the start of my court case, every single person in Jistigal's server was obsessively trying to force every single person in my orbit to separate from me. Sometimes this is just done via anonymous accounts online. Other times we see people, that one stoner, cognitively impaired chick, Aiko, we see her messaging Hutch saying, like, you need to separate from Destiny, he's a rapist or whatever. Sometimes you see it posted on Kiwi Farms where they're saying the same message, like, these guys need to get away from Destiny, he's a rapist. And then on Jistigal's Discord server, because I was still dating this girl at the time and she's not really a public person, but they wanted her to make a public statement separating from me on Twitter. As that wasn't happening, somebody called Kelly Jean in that server was cross-posting a whole bunch of stuff, rumors, and then pointing people towards this lolcow thread about the girl that I was currently dating. And there was no way to make them not do that or to get them to chill on that. And then they would also, at points, they can't directly link to the Kiwi Farms thread, but people would say things like, oh, like check out like post like 449 or 1449 or whatever for this.
Dude, bear in mind, so, well, yes, Kelly was doing this stuff. That's after Destiny had that whole argument about the Kelly Jean rule and anything being allowed against Kelly Jean, and Forethought having to stay after saying that, you know, she should be reduced to. Didn't he say something like, I don't even want to repeat it. I don't even want to repeat it. It was so deranged. It was a little bit funny, but it was so deranged. I don't want to repeat it. I don't want my voice saying it. I believe he basically said she should be reduced to doing bestiality porn to make money. It was some shit like that. It was some like absolutely insane, misogynistic, you know, put down. And yeah, they were all arguing over it and defending it.
I can't like it, but like this is hilarious and blah blah blah. So all that behavior had been happening in Jistigal's Discord, and they were all obviously fine with it. They were joking and memeing about it before I had ever posted anything about Justical, like his docs information.
Sure. So
Did you warn him to stop before you posted?
Of course.
So Jay Stalk
yeah,
literally was against doing this stuff. Jay Stalk literally was moderating against this stuff and telling Kelly not
a million
to.
times. Like, I don't know why people are targeting my girlfriend at the time. She's not a
Who's
public figure.
Aiden?
This is kind of fucking insane. But
He was like the chill miner in like Augie RFC and Nick DiOrio's friend group for years, and now he's an adult kind of who does debates.
the obsession was because she was one of the only people that hadn't made a strong public statement about me. They needed her to say something or break up with me. That was at least explicitly what Kelly and I think others on the server were saying, that it's crazy that this person hasn't broken up with Destiny yet. And so we're gonna keep posting from their lockout thread and make fun of them and make fun of how they look and other stuff, explicit and unexplicit, about them. Yeah.
So Cowbunga Andy in my chat says Destiny's argument literally justifies doxing Whick with the same logic. Just real quick, I don't remember posting anyone's docs. I don't remember posting anyone's Kiwi Farm link threads. I don't remember targeting anyone for.
Well, good thing that's not necessary, Whick. Good thing that's not necessary.
Negotiating with anyone. Like, what do you mean? His argument. So as I understand your argument, Destiny, I don't know if I agree with it or not.
Well, he's not. Well, no, I think he's not really friends with Nick DiOrio anymore.
Is that they were going after your girlfriend at the time, and they were pressuring her, trying to drive a wedge, posting her Kiwi Farm stuff, and you wanted them to stop. They wouldn't stop, so you started doxing Justical. Is that an accurate?
Yeah, I guess also I forget this just because I don't care about the doxing shit. But also her docs was posted both on Lolcow and on Kiwi Farms, which they kept referencing over and over again. But I mean, like that, there was no way that I could. Yeah,
so would you be a justice? Okay, so if you have people in your server that are actively engaged in, let's say, doxing behavior or dox adjacent behavior, etc., would you believe the server owner would therefore be a justifiable target? As like a, are you doing it as like a? I'm not sure if this is like a revenge thing for you or a utilitarian thing. If you believe that's going to mitigate it or stop it, but is that like do you believe that's justified under that logic?
I guess what I try to think of is I try to think of like what would I expect, and I would expect that. Yeah. So like, for instance, if Justical and them started posting like direct doxes of me in their Discord server, which he doesn't ever do directly, obviously for plausible deniability, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about him doxing me, of course, because I'm posting his shit, obviously. If people in my community were doing it and I'm sitting there watching it, I mean, more or less I have responsibility for what goes on in my chat and in my community, so that's why I aggressively ban people that do things that I don't think are acceptable there. Yeah, but
but do you not realize, and by the way, I don't hold this, I'm just unilaterally say, do not dox Whick. Like if you do, obviously I want nothing to do with you here,
but hold on. Have you found out, by the way, because we've been going on a while and I know you've been concentrating on the conversation.
I'd have to go. As I said before, I can look into it when streams are. I could probably, when I actually go to look into it, I could probably give you an answer by the end of the day. I'd have to look into it, right? I actually do not remember. I'm not here. I'm not vested in like I'm defending arguments here. I'm not like I'm not somebody that feels so linked to other people.
You
that I'm
called on the community to rally around.
Yeah, because because
the principles are important, Whick. There's maybe a foreign concept to you, I'm sure.
Do you stand by that?
If Destiny disseminates what I believe to be a lie, I will absolutely call for people to go and combat it. Yes.
Hello.
I just want to run down this thing, and then you can do your thing, just real quick. Yeah. So, like,
sure thing.
What do you think? What should I do at that point? I guess if you're in my perspective, do you think that that's like over the line or over the threshold of me feeling like I don't know. I guess I just have to start like unmasking people on that server if they're going to be cross-posting and referencing like active KF threads about my girlfriend, active lolcow threads about my girlfriend. That also have all my doxes and shit posted on there. But at that point, everybody fucking been doxed on my side anyway.
You should talk about it and how like if you applied like moral pressure to the people around them over that and weren't engaging those acts yourself to stick by their standards and cut them. I wouldn't even be against that, right?
But on their side, they're convinced that I'm basically like a fucking pedophile, rapist, serial woman abuser. So everything against me is justified. That's their perspective.
Okay, but it seems like both sides are using that.
Well, that's not the perspective, though, is it? That's not the perspective. It's not anything is justified. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
People Wick's retweeting stuff that from an account trying to paint me as a wannabe murderer, right? Because I made an edgy joke in private.
I feel like I literally always stress that that's not the case.
Real quick, because people do this both sides thing. If I were...
they want that to be the case. They want it to be that we're like, oh, anything's justified. They go low, we go lower. But literally, anytime I see someone say some shit like that, I call them a fucking retard. Because it's like, that's not winning. That's not winning. That's not winning the argument. That's not being better. That's just spugging out. You just drag yourself down to their level.
To drop everything about these communities, do you think they would continue to obsessively post and talk about me?
If what you post actively combats any instance of like significant wrongdoing that they have been accusing you of, then I think that they obviously should. Will they? No, because I understand that at this point there's like going to be like a sunk cost fallacy, and some of these people are probably going to if you completely refuted it, there would absolutely be some people that would still sit there and insist that it was win. But I think in regards to the people that I associate with, like Kuihman or whatever, if you actively like refuted a story in its entirety with the evidence you presented, I think you would drop it.
Okay, so I feel like the issue that I always run into with people saying on both sides is that like since the end of 2023, I don't care much for this style of content. I'm not even judging it. I did a lot of it in the past. I'm not here to say like, oh, I'm above it. I just don't have as much of an interest in it anymore. I want to do more like politically adjacent stuff. That's kind of where my interest is. But these people seem to only engage.
Your viewers are only interested in this type of content, though.
It's like obsessive style of content about me for months or years. And
that's provably false.
I don't know from my perspective, like you can talk about moral high ground, but if every single person about me around me is getting consistently doxxed by all these places that these people still like link to and talk about and giggle about constantly, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that circumstance other than just start telling people like, hey, if we do any event together, if you're ever on my stream, like people are just going to start doxing, harassing you until you leave. I don't know what I'm supposed to do at that point. And I think it also says something that fear that I just gave, it doesn't really exist in these other communities. It's like the thing that only they do.
What do you mean in regards to the fear of
That's just not true. That's just not true. Let's take Destiny's absolute worst faith characterization of this set of communities or whatever. That worst faith characterization, the like total hyperbole, is literally what people have been doing to Hassan for like 2 years. Like, for real, actually. What do you mean it only exists? No. It's actually quite a discipline. The fact that there's only like 1 or 2 examples of doxing shit happening and people get banned for it, it shows you that's actually quite disciplined.
The fear of like people, like the fear of people doxing if you talk to them or whatever?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, I guess I would dispute the notion that all the people threatening the doxing are coming from one given community. I think you have a broad range of different groups of people. They hate you for a variety of reasons. Obviously, you have opposition from the right. Obviously, there are a lot of the people.
Yeah, I understand that. But like, wait, what's the equivalent position on the right? Or where are these communities of these people that dox me on the right?
Do you know?
I've never even heard of these communities before.
Well, obviously, the thing about Kiwi Farms is, and I agree, a lot of the accounts that engage in doxing are like nameless and faceless, so we wouldn't necessarily know who's coming from where. But in regards to like those accounts or whatever, I'd imagine that some of the people contributing to the thread probably had gripes with you that predate coverage by people like Kuihman.
I'm not talking about, just to be clear, I'm not talking about people that have gripes with me. I don't care if people criticize me.
Well, they contribute to your thread, right? Is it only like, did your thread only? When was your thread like created? I feel like this predates Kuihman, J-Stalk.
Probably like a decade ago. But
yeah. So
I'm saying that like Kuihman made video, like even when I got divorced from Melina, which was before any court case, like Kuihman is making video after video, I think dozens of videos about like my divorce and how epic and based it was. You had in my my messages between me and Lauren Southern were leaked. President Sunday did like a dramatic reading of them and thought it was epic and based, and he was begging that solo guy for more.
Dude, he literally, you can't, like, it's so crazy. You make your divorce content, and then you cry that other people are making it content too. Literally, he does like stream after stream about his fucking divorce. I'm gonna nuke this bitch. I was dodging my ex-wife's lies like Neo from the Matrix. There's J-Stalk spin-off streams while J-Stalk's still an Orbiter, still friendly with the guy, farming it for content, talking about it, having people on to talk about it. But don't talk about it in a negative way. Don't cover that content in a negative way. Don't say, this is really funny. This is really funny and embarrassing for all parties involved. This guy's handling his divorce terribly. Don't make funny jokes about Meatless. Someone send me... Where's Kenny? Send me the fucking Fuentes timestamp. Kenny, send me the Fuentes timestamps. Can you type in chat right there? Show me your hair. I'm not talking to myself. Where is he? Can I find it on my thing? I've messaged Kenny. We'll see if we get it.
I'm just trying to get a...
Come on.
Endure that. These are some of the other messages.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I don't care if he's the next...
Got cucked by this.
I can't see all the epic stuff.
With my mind. Gotta get his merch, bro.
Dude, this is so fucked.
We have to get his merch. Support
First
this
up,
man.
black Memetix rhinestone hoodie, my personal favorite.
Memetix.
Then we have the gray Panda Memetix hoodie, also very hot. We also have a black t-shirt.
His merch is sick. His merch is way better than Destiny's merch.
Jesus, dude.
Wait, there's this bit. I know this bit.
Crazy, bro.
No, she's not still with him.
Powerful. Beautiful. Skratta du, förlora du.
Wow.
Believe in yourself.
On your way. On his way to steal your wife. On his way to threaten to commit suicide if you don't divorce. If your wife doesn't divorce.
This is like... This guy's a...
Dude, shut up, man. I wish I had the raw stuff, bro.
DMs that he could read. Kuihman and them had that solo guy was still active in Kuihman's community for a week or two after he leaked all my shit and everybody else's stuff onto Kiwi Farms, and nobody seemed to care.
Active in his community was, what do you mean? Was he
like chatting in?
No, so this is like a fuck up with the timeline too. I'm pretty sure Solo was not in there past when the actual full nude leaks happened. That yeah, he was not totally banned past that point, but literally like we were going back and forth. You know, I was talking to J-Stalk, who was talking to Destiny as the shit was leaking, because I didn't want any part in it. I don't want to be part of some, you know, dubiously obtained, you know, logs of Destiny and some unknown girl, allegedly at the time, talking. You know, fuck it. So someone else can have it. Someone else can deal with that. Some they chose to. You know, totally criticizable decision as well.
Chatting in his Twitch chat and chatting in his Discord.
Oh, in his Twitch chat? I mean, I don't know if like...
And in his Discord,
Oh, sorry. You're right. Yeah, in his Discord, if that's true, I think after Solo distributed the leaks of you, he should have been absolutely banned when it was confirmed that was...
Sure, but I'm not talking about like what he should have done or what he shouldn't have done, but like, what do you think it says about the attitude in these communities if like that guy is like...
Didn't he offer Kuihman... I could be misremembering this. Didn't he make an offer to Kuihman or something to give him, and Kuihman refused that?
For what?
I feel like I don't know if that rings a bell. I swear this.
Yeah, he came to me with the leaks,
and he tried to blackmail me. He said he wanted to come on my stream to chat, and then he wouldn't release anything else about me.
No, I feel like this was a DM exchange. I guess I can't really use it.
Hold on, did Kuihman do that?
Wait,
what?
No, he's talking about Solo.
Blackmail you?
We're talking about Solo.
No. Solo did. The Solo guy.
Solo.
Did.
Okay, I got mixed up. Fair enough. Solo blackmailed you.
Do you remember the date of my leaks? It was in what's the 11th month? November 24th, right?
Yeah, I remember. Around that time. It was near New Year's.
I guess I have other messages. I need to fucking do all this, but like this guy was still active in Kuihman's community, talking to my good friend Ryle Kittenhouse in there. I just sent a DM to Whick. You can show it on stream. That's from December 2nd, so I think it was like a week after.
So I can read this.
Sure, or you can show it on stream.
Okay. Let me show it on stream real quick. Hold on. Easier. Hold on. Solo says, is J-Stalk dating Cherry? Raul Kittenhouse says, Lamau. Solo says they sit in private VC all day together. Wild? Is that what you want to
know? Funny that he knew that. Even that he knew that way back then. That the Solo guy was watching the VCs enough that he could tell that they were dating. This was even before 2025. But
interesting.
Well,
but that's like that's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, the guy seems like crazy. What can you say? Yeah, he's like obsessed with stuff.
My interest on it, smiley face. Solo again. To be fair, I could have leaked much worse if I only cared about interest. But leaking the super
this is Solo blackmailing Destiny. Obviously, it's all fucked.
Gene chatting about.
Well, before we go to Kelly Jean, I'd appreciate that in regards to the TDD as the mission part.
Are we doing that? Okay, let's do this.
I guess you could say it's technically obsession. When I think of obsession, I think of like.
Wait, are we missing Stardust stuff?
Passion, obviously. I once
again. No, wait. But like, is that justified?
No,
asking me my perspective.
Here we go.
Is quite think that.
I just need
give him what you got. You can do Give him what you got.
Yeah. I don't think that.
I need to wind this back. I think.
Sick. I would like to get back to him.
Total Destiny destruction. Like, what do you think that means when they were saying that back early on when the leak started?
Like they were like happy to see you fall because they believed that you were somebody.
No, they were actively contributing to it. They wanted to participate in that.
Well, I don't
think
that's
goal.
I don't think that's necessarily what that means, right? I think that's just like expressing willingness.
Hold on. With the context
I'm gonna be
we have
so
now,
quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be so quick. My bird is sick. I would like to get back to him. He stopped eating and drinking, so he's probably yeah. You think it's funny? I get it. Okay.
No.
So
you think my bird dying's funny? You really think that's a funny, Aiden? You really think my bird dying's funny? My stupid fucking bird.
So they were saying that back early on when the leak started.
Like they.
Dude, this is like the bunk shit all over again. This is laughing at Southern Dingo all over again, bro. Except Aiden didn't even laugh. Aiden didn't even laugh for it.
Happy to see you fall because they believed that you were somebody.
No, they were actively contributing to it. They wanted to participate in that.
Well,
that was the goal.
I don't think that's necessarily what that means, right? I think that's just like expressing willingness.
Hold on. With the context
I'm gonna be
we have
so
now,
quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be so quick. My bird is sick. I would like to get back to him. He stopped eating and drinking, so he's probably yeah. You think it's funny? I get it. Okay.
No.
So I don't worry. I get it. It's funny to you. Whatever.
It's not that funny. I just need someone.
It's not that funny to me. It wasn't that funny to me either, Aiden, until she did this. To be honest.
Give him what you got. You can do Give him what you got.
Yeah. I don't think that you're hiding or lying about anything either, Aiden. But I do think that you've bought narratives, quite like what Destiny was saying. You've bought narratives hook, line, and sinker without asking me my perspective or doing any critical thinking about it. Despite the history that we have.
I've reached out to you to call in, and I put the offer out on Twitter. I'm absolutely willing to listen to
you. Did you message me or anything? Do you think I have time to do calls with you all the time?
Well, you're saying.
Yeah, no one thinks you've got anything better to do, actually, Stardust. Well, why didn't you reach out to me and ask me if Kuihman was a nice person? That's what it's gonna be in it.
I won't
just
listen
know
to you.
already.
I offered the opportunity to listen to you. You didn't take it. So I
To
don't know what
call
I'm
into
supposed to
your
do.
show when we have like a personal relationship. You didn't want to ask me. We had a personal one-on-one relationship where you used to DM me about your homework or whatever essay you're writing, right? Whatever fucking essay you're writing.
Oh yeah, apparently Starless is holding over Aiden's head that a few years ago he asked for help on his homework or some shit.
And you didn't have the wherewithal to at least talk to me.
Well, you didn't-
on a personal level.
when you were going and relitigating my drama on your stream, you never reached out to me to get your take on that, right? I don't expect.
Yeah, how recent was that? How recent was that? And how far
that was
back
like-
was the drama that I was in with Kuihman?
The drama that you have with Kuihman, I didn't even when that started or was going on, I didn't even know who Kuihman was, right? Obviously,
Do you
when I was
think
cool with
that-
him after that, I didn't see any behavior that he engaged in that I felt. Besides, obviously, once again, I'm like they think I'm soy about like edgy jokes. Besides the shit coming at you like over here in this, I didn't think anything like crossed like a huge like moral line for me based on what I saw. Right by the time I
Do
knew
you
about
think
it.
that Kuihman? How long do you think Kuihman's been obsessed with me?
Obsessed. I feel like that's like I feel like he's been like he's a.
I'm obsessed. I'm unhinged. So crazy.
He's been obsessed with me.
Wait.
He's
Just
been
as a quick thing. A-log is obsessed, right? Jesus. Come on.
I mean,
Well, no, I'm
We
not
kind
saying
of, it's
if
a
somebody's
bastardized
A-log,
term
they're
now.
obsessed with you, definitionally.
So sure. I mean, I guess. I mean, I feel like obsession.
No, that is what it originally meant, yes. So an A-log originally is like someone that is so obsessed with a lolcow they become a lolcow themselves. It's like the point, right? But that is kind of a bastardized term now, and it just means someone who like extensively catalogs someone. That's like an A-log.
Implies like state of mind. I feel like A-log is more as like the action itself. I feel like he thought it was funny and worth covering and entertaining or whatever to make fun of you or cover you in that manner. I don't know if there was like when I think of obsession, I guess you could say it's technically obsession. When I think of obsession, I think of like, you know, someone that's like
male snarking,
fixated on someone, constantly thinking about them. It seems like for him his primary motive was entertainment, right?
So he was before he even blew up as a streamer, he was obsessed with me, and I can share those screenshots with you. Just
okay, let's see the classics.
Here.
Let's see the classics, guys. Trip
The
down memory
screenshots
lane.
that have been sent by Destiny. This is J-Stalk saying they look like retards now, but TDD is the mission. He says something else that cuts off. Chud Logic says, "Yeah, for sure, I can try and smooth," and it gets cut off. And J-Stalk says, "I'd appreciate that."
I have a better screenshot of this number, but I don't have it offhand right now. But like when they say TDD is the mission, this is Jesticle talking to Chud Logic. I think this was either in DMs or it was in the Jesticle server. I don't remember. But
is there a message before that at the top? Because I don't know if there were. Are you saying he's saying yeah, I'd appreciate that, and I'd appreciate that in regards to the TDD is the mission part? Because it seems like he might be replying to something earlier. I don't know if that's what he's saying. He appreciates there.
Here you go. Sorry, thank God.
Is there
So
another
I
thing you
sent.
sent?
Yeah, you can show that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's a very serious death threat or something, I guess.
real quick, read that.
No, the point is obviously he's trying
so-
he's trying to say it's like, oh, it means J-Stalk is committed to the meticulous destruction of my life. J-Stalk could feel like Destiny deserves to have his life destroyed, but you have to show him engaging in actions that cross a moral line, right? J-Stalk's free to feel like Destiny should have his life destroyed. Anyone can feel like someone else should have their life destroyed, but you have to actually show how they're behaving improperly in service of that.
It was a bit frustrating seeing Willie and Nicholas spam that narrative to like get me. I literally reached out in private and I made one comment in spicy. They went ham. Nicholas was on Augie for 3 to 4 nights later, trying to bring me up to shit on me. Willie tweeted.
Yeah, this is like the lamest front old shit that we've literally covered like 6 times already.
I don't
So
agree
we're
with
gonna
this,
move
but
past
somebody
this
could
again.
have, by Whick having you after you docked J-Stalk or at Sunday's dock, someone could then justify Whick, right? So I don't think
No, wait, stop, don't do the. You're going ahead because I'm just saying that for this initial thing, like this was before I doxed anybody. I don't think I posted anything about Justical until March.
Well,
so this was all of this was
you'd already docked Sunday by this point, to be clear.
but this was over.
Whick,
hold on, wait.
I
Does that
sent
mean
you some
everybody
stuff.
has infinite because of?
So what was it?
as- He's
So what those? He's saying those logs were
the
before he
next one.
docks J-Stalk. Okay,
So
wait,
doxing, you
I'm
believe
sorry, I can't. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Conservatives do this all the time, and you guys. Okay, Destiny destruction plan, and they already were committed to that. Justical was already abusing and hosting Cherry on his stream and lying about them dating to have her.
okay.
That's
I
but
literally.
then what was the broader argument about?
I don't care if people think it's like sweeping or something. This guy is like disgusting in the way that he keeps deliberately bringing up Cherry to like twist the knife. I'm literally just not gonna. I'm not gonna cover that shit. I'm not gonna engage with it.
him being a justifiable
If
target.
there's actual evidence that comes out that shows Jay Stalk engaged in malfeasance, or Cherry wants to come out and talk about something, I'll talk about it. I'm not giving this fucking pervert the satisfaction.
Per
just not doing it.
your rationale or whatever.
Well, I guess my first question would be, what can I even do? What am I even supposed to do about any of this?
Unfortunately, I mean, the most like I don't think like if what you laid out, all that, you know, I don't think that doxing people prevents that at all. So it's not like a case of like the solution that I don't know what the solution would be, but the solution you've presented I don't see as a viable one, or one that solves the
You can say effectively. Maybe it wouldn't be effective. I guess you can.
Well, I think it's not just not effective. I think it's harmful because, as I said before,
harmful to who?
To the people around you. I think that
everybody around me has already been doxxed. Everybody around me has already been doxxed.
Unfortunately, yes, but this has been going back and forth about you've utilized when you introduced this tactic.
Back and forth is not true.
Yes,
why is he conceding to back and forth anyway? It's not back and forth. It's like, you know, there are isolated incidents within the community that are dealt with when they arise.
He's just admitted that he's used doxing against someone that was in his opposition. Sunday, you've introduced this tactic.
In response, everyone around me was already doxxed. This already happened to all these people. Blav and all these other people that everybody knows about in Kuihman's community have already been like obsessively spamming doxes and everything.
Why do everyone know this guy's name? Why does everyone know this guy's name?
Wick had been,
is it me?
Okay, so obviously you believing that doxing was justifiable in some instances predates this entire situation, right? Wick was Wick doxed prior to doxing Sunday?
No, the Sunday thing is okay. So because of whatever happened between me and Sunday, I'm infinitely justifiable, and everyone around me is infinitely justifiable.
No, if anyone doxes anyone around you, it's not justifiable. But that's why we should both unilaterally condemn the usage of this tactic, because it solves nothing. It gets the people around.
But hold on. Okay, but so this just President Sunday was like 5 years or 6 years ago. Okay, so what am I supposed to do when all these other people are now spamming doxes and spamming Kiwi Farms links and locale links to people around me? Do I just go, oh, well, I guess since me and Sunday had our back and forth 5 or 6 years ago, there's nothing I can say or do?
It wasn't 5 or 6 years ago. That's fucking insane. Crazy retcon.
You just don't put gasoline onto a fire, right? Unfortunately, there's some instances where you don't have it in your capacity.
That shit was all post-COVID, bro.
I don't know why you guys
super post-COVID. It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
TDD is the mission. Total not partial destiny death, not limited destiny death, not quasi destiny death. Total destiny destruction was the mission. Nothing that I do from that point is going to make it any worse for me. It's already maximally bad for me.
Okay.
I don't understand how you don't understand that.
Do you not think?
Well, that's just like obviously not the case, is it? Because people weren't just like covering literally everything you do.
Do you not think when you dox somebody, you make it even more personal?
No, to be honest, they're literally like, you know, because of Destiny going so hard about this, there are like maybe 3 to 5 other streamers that are now on like consistent Destiny content. And yeah, they're all like relatively small, but it's a you know, growing thing.
That individual to begin with and give them greater.
Can I just hold on, Aiden? Can I ask you, if Destiny had never doxed anyone, never doxed JStalk, never doxed the Esports Batman, never doxed Wicked Supreme, none of that, do you think that I wouldn't have been doxed?
So I think that you wouldn't have. I can't predict that, obviously.
Okay, I can say that they would have doxed me anyway. It does not matter.
Well, that's just going to be here.
This is just all post hoc rationalization for their hatred against Destiny, targeted what he does or does not do. It's beside the point. They want to destroy him because they hate him, and they will use any excuse to try to justify that. But at the end of the day, it does not matter what he does. They're going to come after me. I can tell you 100%. Right, 100%.
It's just not true.
If
It's
he
just
had
like
not
so
anyone,
retarded.
I would still have been targeted. And
can I?
Well, I mean, it's true. Wick would still be targeted regardless of what Destiny does, because people hate Wick for reasons that are personal to Wick. To be honest, like there's lots of reasons to hate Wick, independent of Destiny. So I don't know whether he would have been doxed. Obviously, the doxing incident. You know, I don't think doxing gets justified because someone else is doxed. I think that's the case. So it's wrong either way. So it's kind of doesn't matter. But Wick would absolutely still be talked about in a very negative way by a lot of people, regardless of whether he disavowed Destiny or not. In fact, he seemingly had disavowed Destiny for a bit. He read out that doobie chat about the Pixie leaks. He seemed to have pissed off Destiny. It seemed like it was maybe over for a bit. People still shit talk to Wick because Wick fucking sucks regardless of Destiny.
Yeah, can I just run through some questions really quick here? I won't take too long at all. I sent you a couple of screenshots.
Okay, unfortunately, jokes like that are not allowed anymore.
You can see how long Kuihman has been obsessed with me. It has
like
been
the $2.
since 2022, at least. These are this is basically an old editor of mine who I ended up falling out with eventually, telling me to not do a panel with Kuihman. I asked why. She said that he's trying to get a giant dunk on you. Later on in the same chat.
Thank you, Dickers, for the raid. Thank you, Dickers. Welcome in, Dickers Raiders.
You can see the second message there where it's just her, and this is back when
Boots being a fucking knock, as always. Fuck this bitch. We hate Boots. Fuck Boots. Okay. I'm not going to talk shit on Boots. Boots been gone for ages. I literally don't have any, I don't give a fuck about Boots. I have any negative feelings. Obviously we fell out multiple times, but I don't care. Still, I don't go on a panel with Kuihman. Why is that? He's trying to get on a panel so he can get a giant dunk on you. Like, he doesn't care about whatever the panel is about. Tried to watch live panel 2, but he wasn't. Okay, problem.
Message there where it's just her, and this is back when Spicy.
Say sorry. What do you mean say sorry? I was joking. I was joking around. I was pissing around. I just don't want to have it taken as like more serious than it was. I'm just pissing around. This was funny though. This was like, totally misreading. This was awesome. I remember she sent Stardust those awful chat logs to bring up. It made Stardust look fucking terrible. Where it's just like me saying like spamming chat to let Mindwaves kneeling on her or some shit like that. Like saying like calling Mindwaves like Derek Chauvin or some shit like that, just talking like crazy. And it's just like, who gives a fuck? But she brought it up as like some own. Boots was on the team. Boots is DK's is it just girlfriend still? I'm not sure. I actually don't know. Living girlfriend. Used to be in Spicy, moderator. Go on stream sometimes. No, yeah, lots of fallouts. Lots of falling outs. If someone sends a $50 dono to my stream elements, I will copy paste Forever's ban message and tag Stardust. What was Forever banned for at this point? What was Forever banned for at this point? Send the Sunday video. Send me the Sunday video. What was Forever banned for here? Bring up Stardust to break Boots' brain. Bring on Stardust.
Chat was relatively new, but basically it was just every time Kuihman's mentioned me in Spicy Chat, I think it was like 90 some times, and again it was relatively
only 90
chat.
times.
98
times. It was back when it was Spicy.
Wait, I think we got it. Kenny came through.
This is it. This is good. Stop this.
Thank you for the $5, Jubilee. Thank you.
Well, actually, TDD is a play on the term TND. How funny would it be if that was the angle?
That's what he should have gone with. That is the answer. Well, you see, it's a play on a commonly repeated racist dog whistle that actually means total.
This is good stuff. Did you catch that? He said that he's like Neo from the Matrix, and he's in bullet time, dodging his ex-wife's lies. Imagine like how fucked up your life has to be to utter that sentence on a public live stream. Like, this is a picture of your life. Let me take a picture of your life. You're 34 years old. You're on your second failed marriage. You're on a live stream saying, I learned to dodge my ex-wife's lies like Neo from the Matrix. This is like a little picture. Let's take a screenshot. Save to camera roll. Save to files. It's like a little screenshot of your life. 34 years old, second failed marriage. You're on a live stream talking about your marital problems. Now that I've become like Neo and I could do bullet time and see my ex-wife's lies in real time. That's like, how do you become that person? Because let's avoid that at all costs. Who would want to be on a public live stream saying, I learned to dodge all my ex-wife's lies? You know how like bitter that sounds? That's brutal. Let's rewind that part. I want to watch that part again.
Every single like pivot like grown into like Neo when it comes to our relationship. Now I can see like every single lie and every single like pivot and every single attempt. Like,
this guy's such a dub, dude. My face when my favorite live streamer dodges his ex-wife's lies. Dude, W. Steven. I tune into Destiny because he owns his ex-wife in arguments during their divorce. He's a winner. W. The feel when your favorite
Why do you hate him so much at this point? Destiny got like totally fucking blown out like horrifically on a Jewish question debate on Fresh and Fit with Fuentes, and then basically like blacklisted him afterwards. I forget the precise timeline, but Destiny has like always coped about the Fuentes shit. He got like absolutely, literally. Obviously, I'm not a Nazi. I don't believe JQ shit. Fuentes, literally, it was not fucking close. Destiny did like no prep, got absolutely just the floor fucking wiped with him in this JQ debate with Fuentes, and it basically all fell apart up from there. It was like crazy. No, it wasn't. I don't think Ryan Dawson was there. What did he say about the Bible? He said some stupid shit about the Bible. Max, you must know. He said some stupid shit about the Bible and Judaism or some shit. He like totally fucks up some like religious history thing. Was it about the language? I thought there was something else, man. Anyway, yeah, worth watching. Maybe we'll take a look at some point.
Streamer is about to destroy his ex-wife in a debate. Melina picked a wrong one to divorce because her ex-husband is a master debater online.
It's Royal Kitten House is it's sort of like neither. It's like pseudo J-Stalk controlled, but not J-Stalks and not a fan channel.
He's extremely good at online political debates. You silly bitch. You think that he could go and defeat Sneeko in a debate? And you think you can put up a fight, you stupid bitch? He could disassemble any right-winger. He converted Hunter Avalon, and now you think you stand a chance with your stupid lies about your new boyfriend and how you're in love? He is going to deconstruct your arguments. This is going to be a brutal divorce for you, girlfriend.
Every single attempt when it comes to our relationship. Now I can see like every single lie and every single like pivot and every single attempt, like
he's
every
in
single
bullet
thing. I'm
time.
like,
I see every
do you
one
have
of
a
my
log for that?
ex-wife's
Or
lies.
can you prove that?
Tate.
He was relatively new. And then they also cleared that chat pretty frequently. Do you think that this began before or after my conversation with Jalen?
Probably was before that. I'd imagine there were other gripes that existed with you. I don't know what specifically his gripes, like, I don't know the exact reason the beef between the two.
Why does he have to have a gripe with her specifically? Why can't he just hate her?
Well, he can, right? I guess I use the two synonyms.
I think that's the truth. Like,
but you're using
sure, he does.
that there's a justification.
I'm not disputing. What about any of this behavior is unjustifiable?
Let me because you said that you're basically making the argument that I don't really have a place to find issue with this because of my own behavior. But if we look at reality, we look at the timeline, Kuihman started this behavior well before I engaged with Jalen. And do you want to know the context of my argument with Jalen? Like why we were in this heated argument?
Sure, I guess. I mean, it's not really gonna be...
So I'm surprised that you forget this. I feel like you were there for this, but Jalen was somebody who crashed out quite often and would punch holes into walls, and scream the N-word over and over and over again in calls with people. Yeah, that was my big gripe with her, right? I probably wouldn't do this again. But I very much recall saying in that conversation with Jalen, I support trans rights for everybody except for you because you're acting very male-coded, the way you're punching holes in walls and the way that you're dropping the N-word. I wouldn't say it again, but you know, that I did at the time, you know?
Okay, so you dislike their behavior online, so you decided to respond with shit flinging, which is like, I'm not the one that...
Yeah, which is fine, but I didn't A-log her.
You're the one
I didn't A-log her. Right? I didn't A-log her. I didn't.
You did Poppy and Xena though, didn't you?
Constantly cover her for years, right? I didn't find ways to make the most minor things into giant mountains.
How many
right?
streams did Kuihman do about you in total? Would you venture to guess?
Thousands.
I have no idea. He used to start. More than that. He used to wait for me to start streams.
Just real quick, Kuihman, if you're watching, hop on in, buddy. Jump backstage.
He used to wait for me to start streams, and then he would start his stream, and then him and all of Spicy Chat would watch me, and they would just watch my entire stream from start to finish, with all of them sitting in voice chat and commenting on it, basically. Do you think that Kuihman engaged in racism towards me before or after the thing with Jalen?
Who cares?
Probably maybe before. I've seen
Probably
evidence.
before. You
I've seen
brought up
evidence. The shit that I've seen. I saw the tweet that I saw for like a specific example of racism was the substance guy like tweeting the cowhead or whatever at you or whatever.
I mean, that's
W.
years and years after.
W.
That's years and years after all of this started. Do you you mentioned me telling somebody in spicy chat to
I would defend that substance tweet. That substance tweet was so inoffensive. There literally wasn't even gore.
Themselves. Do you think that that was a
She totally lied.
particularly rare thing that happened in spicy chat?
No, not at all. I think that this is a community.
Do you think?
So Stardust, do you agree that Kuihman is?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that what do you think the context is of me telling that person to off themselves in the first place?
I don't know. They're probably being annoying. It's Mathis. They're probably just being
No, it was okay. So you know what it was is
I don't know what it was.
other people, regulars in spicy chat. Well, I'm telling you, regulars in spicy chat asked me, "What is your opinion on this guy and his I think it was his profile description?" And I was being a little performative at the time, but I basically said that, you know, it was like an Epstein quote in his profile, right? Literally an Epstein. And so I said that he's like being melodramatic in his profile, and I said off himself, right? That's not particularly, people said way worse than me in spicy chat on a regular basis.
Of course, but those people are not the ones taking a moral position against these sorts of things. In their mind, they think that all jokes, they think that all jokes and like and humor directed at somebody that they don't like, etc. is justified. I'm not somebody that personally accepts that position, and I've taken issue with them over it.
You made a joke about gutting someone's wife.
In private, in a context where they wouldn't hear it, while I was drunk and 20 years old, and somebody privately recorded that, took it out of context, and posted it to smear me. So yeah.
Drunk and 20 years old. How old are you now, Aiden? 21. How long ago was that? Like 4 months.
That was in private, where the recipient wouldn't have heard it. I'm not the one taking the position. And by the way, I've literally said I was a dick for that. I was a total asshole for that. This was a drama from like 6 months ago, which I'm totally willing to admit that I was being a fucking drunken like loser asshole. There's no reason to make jokes about somebody's wife like that. My only position and my only defense is that I'm not a murderer. I don't want to kill anybody. That was a edgy joke in a part of my server explicitly designated as the place you can make edgy jokes and utilize shock humor, because I understand that's not appealing
he's
to
just
everybody.
kidding himself. It's so crazy, right?
Everyone in the audience that was intended for understood it was a joke. It was only when the in-group humor was analyzed by the out-group that it would obviously be perceived as bad. And I get it. I do get it, right? My only position was I was joking.
You mischaracterized that entire thing with Jalen so badly, though, right?
What did I mischaracterize?
I didn't misgender Jalen. I called her she, her the entire time. What I said to her is that she was acting in a very male-coded way by dropping the N-word and punching holes in walls, which I think is a banger line, if I do say so myself. Secondly,
you said you'd be. You said
is so retarded. You legit. This is dude. Aiko was just so right. You will never convince anyone with IQ above 60 who's watched his content for more than a year that Aiko wasn't 100% right. Literally, Stardust could get anything could happen to Stardust, and they would not care. Look at this guy's face, listening to this bitch explain this retarded shit. He's like, dude, I was doing so well, spinning my retarded fucking narrative that totally contradicts all my previous values about how all these people are responsible for everything that happens to me. This fucking bitch comes in, and he's just sat here, look, just losing it.
You said you'll be transphobic to her specifically. You made comments about like
I support trans rights.
Trans
rights for everybody except for Jalen.
Just own it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Then just own it. You're the one that is saying that some line has been crossed.
I do own it. I do own it. But you are the one who is using that as a justification for all the shit flinging, all of the worming into my personal life, all of the worming into my personal life, all the worming into my personal relationship, all of the worming into. Who do you think?
Okay, if you present,
I think one thing that's like really hard to express that I don't know. I just haven't found a good way to communicate this. You either get it or you don't. I'm gonna guess here. Stardust doesn't give a fuck if somebody says something even incredibly mean or racist or whatever about her or personal about her. It's this, and I feel the same. It's the months and months and years of not just the coverage, but the active participation in and the active like subversion and digging and like this is the thing where it's like holy
literal
fuck.
It's not even the words. Let me just say my thing here, Whick, please. Okay.
So explain what was wrong.
Because everybody's talking over me. Okay. And I've waited very long. Okay. So I will say I have dealt with hate raids from neo-Nazis, from groypers. I have dealt with brigading on all platforms from neo-Nazis over the years.
Oh my God.
I have never been doxxed by them. I also, random racism is something that I see on a regular basis. Destiny is correct. Like on an individual basis, you kind of you're used to the internet. You kind of like just let it roll off of you, right? It is the dedicated, hyper-focused racism, constant dehumanization of you, the constant justification of everybody being horrible to you, the way that they turned it into a part of their culture where people who don't even know me, chatters who don't even know me, are saying the most insane, deranged shit. Like I'm not even a human being. I'm not even a human being anymore to these people.
Well, but from my perspective, and it's also because specifics aren't being laid out. So in regards to the person that doxed you, I think that's disgusting, right? Whoever did that, and I don't know who did that, unironically. But in regard, like, it seems to me, like, when I hear you complain about these things, it sounds like somebody who's like stepped into the kitchen and is like upset that it's hot or they can't handle the heat. For example, Kuihman, for example, has done that. Kuihman can be really like mean or whatever, right? He's done it to me. Details of like a private sexual encounter I don't think you
understand.
It's not
about
comparable.
Mean. It's not. Yeah. It's the years of obsessive coverage.
It's it's like driving. It's okay, right? Everyone drives. Driving's legal.
It's like what is years of obsessive coverage? People cover niches of content. You're not going to get someone, it's not generally the case that someone only covers something once. If something works, they go back to it. You have like almost a beat, as Taylor Lorenz would say. There's a consistent through line of content and stories that you're following within the same arena.
Fuentes said he wanted to lock her in his basement and forcefully breed her. No one on this said would even say something disgusting like that. Most of US would vomit at the thought of even consensual sex with Stardust.
Thank you for the dono. Nick Fuentes did say that, and I wish there was an actual good archive of him saying it. But I have been sorely disappointed whenever I look for it.
But when you got 10 guys driving in different cars, boxing you in, that legitimate action of driving becomes something that is illegitimate. So the problem is
I'm not allowed to breathe in this space, basically.
Application of it. It's not just one instance, it's multiple instances over extreme periods of time that does not stop and does not let up. And
it's every single day
behavior
for years. Every single day for years, where everybody has normalized it to treat me like a punching bag. Say whatever you want about me. Call me ugly, fat, disgusting, gross, Ajit, Pajit, whatever you want to say about me, right? I've heard it all. But it is the dedicated, constant focus on me, intense focus on me. I literally cannot breathe without somebody finding an issue with the way that I did it. Without somebody finding, and then it's just extended over years of time.
I wasn't hearing any of these people, like they did. I admit that people would talk about you, make fun of you.
Where's the video?
I remember explicitly, it died down for a long time, and then it was after you like start going on stream and making comments like 50% of men have probably like shared like sexually images of women without their consent, that all of a sudden everybody was interested in talking about you again.
What did I say? 50%? Did I say?
Yes, 50%.
I don't care about people talking about me.
That was the exact figure you
did.
gave.
I say that? Okay. I don't care about.
Question on that. Why do you think they went after Stratus for that?
Because that's like an absurd comment to make. I think it's minimizing.
Wait, no, wait. I think really hard about what I'm going to say. Why would they go after Stratus for that?
It's about
me. You believe that it was,
that is literally about Destiny, man. I don't even know if I covered that much. But it is literally about Destiny. But yeah, she claims to not sweep for Destiny and then said something to minimize wrongdoing that was legitimately bad. So yeah, people are going to take issue with that.
Herself with you. So then...
Exactly. Hold on, wait a second. Stardust. Did we talk at all in like the past fucking like 2 fucking years?
No, you had me blocked. Like Destiny had me blocked on every platform.
Every single person from all these places, but because they even had that perception that she was trying to align herself with me, she became like a target again. Like the issue that you just said that because she said a thing.
She's providing minimizations for what you did on stream. Me and Jay Stock hated each other.
Hold on, one at a time.
Let me tell you what what I actually said on stream. I said I do not believe a single dude in the snarker community when they talk about caring about women, caring about victims, caring about the dissemination of private material, explicit sexual material without a woman's consent.
Even this is like retarded reframing just to sweep. It might be to self-sweep, it might be to just bolster a narrative that she's got already. But this is like totally dishonest. I'm not out here claiming that I'm like some fucking, you know, I'm not out here being a victim's advocate. You know, it's not my role. It's not my role. I don't pretend otherwise, you know. It's not required to make an argument about something that you're like, you know, oh, you really care about women. You have to really care about women to talk about this. No, that's not really required. What you're saying is true. You can say it regardless. Now, either way, the obvious insinuation of that comment is they don't really have an issue with that behavior. And I would ask for any substantiation of that. They always point to this Mantis thing, but I literally, you can go to the stream where it happened. I literally instantly, I think it gets posted in one chat. I see it get posted in one chat. I instantly say, don't post that. Don't share that around. Cut it out. Literally instantly. And that's obviously before anyone knows what it is.
And I do not believe a single fucking one of them because every single one of them has done it. Look at Mantis. They disseminated her private pictures, her sexually explicit pictures without her consent.
So this is tomfoolery. He leaked this on stream by mistake. I think someone screenshotted it in like one Discord before anyone knew what it was. It got ID'd by like her ex-boyfriend, but by that point it was already deleted. Literally, it was like instantly like, don't post that. That could be bad. Don't post that. It was instantly gotten rid of.
And then they tried to pinpoint it directly to her. And when they couldn't get tomfoolery to do that, they brought on her ex-boyfriend to confirm that was her body in the picture.
So this is just like a total butchering of this story. It's like totally crazy. This guy was just like running around in chat saying it.
But before Pixie brought her lawsuit, what were they doing with her? They were sharing the media and they were making fun of Pixie and they were people in Spicy. They making fun of Pixie when Pixie came and said, "I'm feeling suicidal about this." What did they do to her? They made fun of her for being suicidal.
Just like retarded filibuster spug out.
Nobody gave a fuck in that community, and nobody in that community gives a fuck about women or victims or.
Okay, shitters in a Discord were mocking someone. Nobody cares about this. Nobody actually believes what they're saying, okay?
Anything. How many of them were cheering on doxers who were doxing Lav?
I don't know about anyone sharing that on. But I also, you just made a claim. You made a specific.
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, Lav, cook Lav. Come on, Lav.
Finish what I'm saying.
Can you
please,
not?
Please,
you went over the sick documentary that you made about
let me finish. Let me finish.
Both of you.
Let me finish.
Stop.
Let me finish.
I will, but I gotta get control of this situation.
Okay.
Let's start us finish. Be quick. Lav has some things to say, I guess.
I sure do.
Yeah.
That is the full context of what I was saying. I wasn't defending Destiny. I was saying I don't give a fuck about the people in the snarker community because one, I've dealt with them for fucking years, okay? And the recent stuff with them targeting me, I don't give a fuck. That was, you know, whatever. I entered it.
It's really just reviving Destiny's 2023 content. It's rotting corpse because Destiny has nothing.
When they started, I did not do anything. I wanted to be left alone, right?
Okay,
but the full context of that is me saying I don't give a fuck about those people. Now, I have a bird to take care of. I will see you guys later.
Thank you for calling in, and I hope your bird gets better in all seriousness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it was true that anyone had Spicy.
Guys, bad update. The bird was euthanized today, so poorly aged comment from Whick there.
Sexually intimate images of Mantha, so I don't think that's true, to my knowledge.
What I was going to say was that I think it's funny coming from Stardust because Stardust like actually emboldened Sick when he was making the documentary about me and was actually A-logging me and lying about me online. And I was also going to say, like, Steven, you built this community based off of harassment and A-logging people, and now you're like, why is it happening to me? Like, you built this brick by brick. This is the community that you built for yourself and others. Like, this helps you when you're against someone, and then when people if I could finish. And then when people are against you, it's bad. And then also you do things.
No, you can't go to the second.
You gotta hold on, Lav. You do have to answer his question.
Dude, like, he's asking like the most retarded question too. Who did they A-log? Lav, Anna, Hassan. Like everyone you have a consistent fight with.
There's one person that might.
No, I don't. I need to finish my point before I answer his question.
Mr. Go?
I'm gonna tell me to unmute when she's done.
He's scared of me. He's scared of saying this.
I feel
like he's literally he's scared of me. Like he is doing.
So he deafened on his stream. He's
doing this as like a baby child would. Anyway, I'll continue because I know that at least people are going to remind him of what I'm saying. He's like, why are people harassing my child? And then he'll literally like stream with his child, his minor child, like on his fucking streams. Like, you're putting him on the internet. You are a content creator. Not only that, you're a content creator that engages in blood sports. You're a content creator who harasses other people.
Is she,
of course it's not justified. I would never say it was justified.
Please stop. You do have.
You're not allowing me to finish.
Hold on. One point at a time. Go ahead.
No, I don't need to do one point at a time. I don't need to do that. I can lay out all the things I'm thinking, and then I can take questions.
Well, they're gonna.
You can wait 5 seconds after I finish. It's not like I'm trying to silence you. You can wait.
Well,
Thank you.
The goals.
And not only that, what's ridiculous is that when I was going through all of this, and I said, everyone, hey, like something's happening to me, and everyone was just like, I think you're mentally ill. You might just not be, well enough to be online. Guess what? I got offline and it disappeared. Stardust, do you realize that you can just turn your laptop off? Steven, do you realize you can literally just close your application? Do you realize that you're a 6,000 viewer and you're like a 7, from anywhere from 6,000 to 12,000 viewers, and you're listening to people with 20 viewers and literally like cortisol spiking because of it? It's insane. Grow up.
Okay,
Grow up.
They're trying to make you look crazy.
Stop,
You're correct. Don't let them make you look crazy.
Let Destiny respond.
Don't let them make you look crazy.
Stop. Destiny, go ahead.
Okay, who is one person in my community as A-logged?
Who, Anna? What do you mean?
What do you think A-logging means?
Literally, like, followed her around, doxed her anytime she was online, would
my
clip
community?
her?
No.
Oh, you've got to be joking, Steven. You've got to be joking.
It's going to be these people, their brain got locked in like 2020 or whatever, and I don't think it's like Arrested Development.
Nobody believes you. Everyone saw it.
If you want to say that somebody A-logged Anna, then it would be Circa. That would be like the conversation about Anna in my community.
Who was part of your community, correct?
No, Circa did it. Was on a whole other thing.
Yeah, Steven, you're so intellectually dishonest. It's
Didn't you direct
Circa
people to
my community?
Didn't you direct people to Kiwi Farms because they were A-logging her? Because they were A-logging her?
No, it's because
This is a standard association. Destiny will literally never hold for us, by the way. Literally, it's as clear as day. Any other content creator would be immediately associated. But Zerka's off on his own little thing.
They kept asking me things from her Kiwi Farms. I said, if you want to talk about it, go there and do it. Don't do it to my community.
So you had to give them the link.
How do you define A-logging?
Come on,
why do you think my community was talking about her?
Because you wouldn't stop talking about her.
No, because she would go live every single day to talk about what people were saying about her online.
She was a 20 viewer Andy.
Pretty sure those streams are getting embedded too. Thank you for the $10, that guy. Thank you.
And you emboldened your
when she goes
community.
She goes live. Can you stop
to a chair and removing
too far? Thank you for the dono.
treating people like children? I know that for you, women aren't real people or whatever.
You
but
want everyone to treat you like a child right now? Stop
no, I
bullying
don't.
me
No one is
online.
asking that.
Stop bullying me online.
It's just
Then
this
log off.
constantly.
Log off, Steven. You don't have to see it. Log off. You make enough money. You're
Good job.
successful enough to
You
where
did it,
you
Lav.
don't have to pay attention to
Lav,
it.
you took over
Lav,
another
thank you
conversation
for
and made it
calling
about
in.
yourself. Yeah, good job.
Thank you for calling in.
Well,
You're so
for the
scared.
record, right? So for the record, right, my community didn't A-log Anna. That's crazy. All talk about Anna was banned in my community, like on and off for about a year. The issue with Anna, I guess everybody just like deleted this from their brains, and I take partial responsibility for this because I should have leaned into it harder. But Anna was going live on her Twitch stream every single day to talk about either me or to talk about comments that she saw about her.
While your community was dragging her name through the mud and you were back and forth sexting her or denying it publicly or referring to her as a stalker, yeah, we know.
Her. There are times where I would delete every single thread, anything that was ever posted on my subreddit, I would delete about her. There was a total ban on talking about her in my chat. We wouldn't bring her up on stream. But then what was happening? Anna was content because she would go live on her stream. She would start like screaming and crying and responding to comments. People on Kiwi Farms would start posting about her. Zerka started to farm the ever-living fuck out of her.
Yes.
That crazy clip where she's like, "Why did you call me princess?" That was on a Zerka stream. But the only reason I joined that call was because she was already talking about
one
me.
of the
and
things
she had been for months.
Yeah, just to confirm what Destiny is saying here. One of the issues that I had, because I had just started streaming at the time, I had just gotten introduced to the space, and the incentives to bring on Anna and basically get her to break down in order for everyone to cover it after was very, very high. We as a community decided
Thank you, Grateful. Thank you.
Because we thought it would be taking advantage of someone who's going through a thing. But the idea that it was Destiny's community that was egging this on.
Well, no, the claim, I'm pretty sure the claim was
Dude,
that.
Yes. What? Dude, how can you? What fucking world do you live in? What fucking world is Whick living in, bro? Truly, I wish I could understand what's going on in this guy's fucking stupid little head, man.
I'm pretty sure the claim was that they were A-logging her, and it sounds like that's not even being disputed. It sounds like the dispute is that they just had a reason to do it because she was streaming.
Wait. She was not being A-logged by my community.
How do you define A-logging?
Such cap.
As in people who are obsessively following, posting information about. It could be doxing. It could be just like having like a record or a collection of like all the things that a person is doing. People who are engaged in like excessive hatred or obsession with a person. This is like A-logging.
So if people in your space are talking about her every time she goes live to the point where you're trying to get people to shut up about it and direct them to Kiwi Farms instead, which was the justification you gave me at the time, wouldn't that be A-logging?
So Lavis sent me this.
Yeah,
no, and she says
just because there's a reason she's being A-logged doesn't mean it is not A-logging, right?
That's not A-logging. Hold on. Somebody responding to somebody is not A-logging. She's going live.
Dude, she's engaging, so it's not A-logging. Literally would never hold the standard for him or anyone around him.
To talk about me and my community constantly. I would try to delete every Reddit thread I saw about her, everything I could do in my community to ban all talk about her. I did, but she would still go live and she would talk about me. Sometimes she would Google and she would find other YouTube videos talking about it. I had to ask Abba to delete a video on his YouTube channel about her because that was triggering her. Anything she saw on the internet that was about her, she would get triggered about, and then she would have an 8-hour cry stream about. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know what I could do from my perspective. I tried to ban all the talk of my community. We were not A-logging her. She was stalking me. Well, hold on. Anna was stalking me. Do you understand that?
Okay.
No, wait. Do you understand?
Did you consider perhaps going no contact instead of like texting her?
She was going live every single day.
Actually, holding that boundary.
Anna was stalking me.
I don't know if it's like stalking to talk about you. She could have been. I'd have to look at, but I haven't seen proof she was stalking you.
If you go live to talk about a person every single day, to cry and scream about them when they don't want anything to do with you, you wouldn't consider that to be stalking?
Oh yeah, he wanted nothing to do with it the whole time. Thank you for the $5 shipment. Huge appreciate it. Thank you. Can we go back and hear this Aiden kid giving the toothiest whistle when he's trying to say so? 20-year-old kid, man.
If they have been significantly wronged by you, I think that would just be like an emotional like
I hadn't significantly wronged her. There was no significant wronging.
I think well, okay, seems like that's what she believed. No, I think that stalking.
If that's what she believed.
No. Wait. He had to sext her. It was self-defense. No. Wait.
I think that it becomes
the good guy in their own story.
Sure. Yes, I agree. That's why if we introduce like the usage of certain tactics, people can provide infinite justifications for why it's okay when they do it. So it's more useful to just unilaterally condemn. So it's more useful to just unilaterally condemn like tactics outright.
Unilateral condemnation has never worked in all of human history, and nobody does it. That's why multiple people on the planet have nuclear weapons, and not just one party.
So just real quick, Lav says that this is an example of your community A-logging her. This is from the wiki, the Destiny.ggg wiki. And she sent me her page and where they give information on her. And this is the example that she has given of A-logging. What is your response to this?
I don't think a wiki is A-logging, number one. It could be, depending on the type of stuff in there, if they're following like day by day, okay? But two, the only reason why I have to start having a wiki on my community is because people like Lav will lie about so much stuff. But the stuff that is on the wiki related...
Yeah, and the reason why people cover Destiny so much is because Destiny will lie about so much stuff. So, glad we're on the same page.
To Lav is stuff that's happened on my stream. Like most of the stuff is still in YouTube videos for disagreements. It links to like YouTube videos that exist right now. These are like summaries and shit of arguments that we've had. These are not like where does she live now and where is she going to school.
How often is this wiki updated? How long is it updated? Or how often is it updated?
I don't know.
I don't know if is there like a way to check. I don't know.
It's a wiki, so there's probably an edit history in it.
Yeah, would you say like it's probably a-logging if it gets contributed to like maybe multiple times per week, or?
I don't think. I'm sorry. What do you think a-logging? What do you think a-logging came from as a term?
I think it was like it like refers to like covering like everything a perceived like problematic or funny person is doing,
with an obsessive hatred behind it. It was the guy who was, I don't remember the name, Chris something or whatever, who was a-logging Chris Chan.
I mean,
a-logging implies an obsessive hatred.
Well, okay, so I don't necessarily believe that it's always used to denote the hatred portion. Sometimes people cover lolcows that they find like fascinating and want to, but they don't necessarily like personally like respectively hate that person. There are some people that do, but I don't think that's a necessary component for it to be a-logging.
But they're usually relying on other people that have a-logged them.
They're relying on other people, which means what? Here.
As in, they rely on other people that obsessively hate these people and obsess over them to stalk them. They go and they look at all the information they've posted about them, and then they cover it in a YouTube video. So if the commentary community did this for a long time. Hold on, I'm not saying the commentary community engages in a-logging, but like when people are going to make YouTube videos on lolcows, nobody talks about it in the commentary community. But oftentimes what they would do is they would go to Kiwi Farms, they would kind of summarize the information there, and then they make a YouTube video about it because a lot of people on the mainstream internet didn't know about Kiwi Farms, and that's what they would do. I wouldn't say that the YouTubers were a-logging people, but they relied on a-loggers who were usually like upset, like the people that are on Kiwi Farms posting every day about a person or posting like really frequently life updates. These are like obsessive people.
Okay, so it's the Kiwi. Okay, so I can agree that the Kiwi farmers, a lot of them are obsessive, right? But it seems like the ascription of people being a-logs is not just used for like everybody that's like personally like has like a visceral hatred that's going through like the usage of bad tactics. It seems like even if you're like covering someone on a regular basis to mock and make fun of them, like with what Kuihman was doing to Stardust, it seems like that was described as a-logging.
Sure, because they were obsessively every day. Yeah, it was an obsessive hatred of like tracking and following. Yes.
So if the distinguishing factor that would make it a-logging versus not a-logging is like the
Stardust has literally never streamed every day.
The obsessive factor, which would be a large quantity and frequency of coverage, then it seems like if Labs Wiki has been contributed to on the DG Wiki like on a daily basis, that could absolutely be described as a-logging if that's like the defining criteria.
The only thing that's covered in my wiki are fights that we've had on stream. These aren't like updates of like her personal life. I don't think we talked about live in my community for like a year or two. It just depends because every now and then she'll pop up on some weird panel to make some arguments. But no, it's all stuff that's related to like me and Lab.
Didn't just win the court case, did she?
Whatever fights or disagreements on stream.
Sure, there can be reasons for why someone like there could be.
It's not about it. That's not a reason to a-log. That's not a-logging.
When is the last time you had when is the last time besides now that you spoke to Lav on stream?
Probably 3 days ago when she was talking to Connor.
Oh, I thought you two haven't spoken. Okay, I guess I'm just off on that. I thought
That's
you two
why she popped up here now because they're still weird. And
she wants to be clear, she wants to come back, but I don't think she's gonna listen.
She can't have a conversation back and forth. It's not worth it. Like again, like nobody will acknowledge that Anna was talking about me, was stalking me,
ran from Lav.
And I don't know, Whick, you can ask any other person in this space if you were to come to me and you were to ask me like, oh, like you want to come and talk to Anna? Like generally, my thing was either hands off or I was like, I don't think it's a good idea or whatever the fuck you guys want to do. The person who was driving that the most, if you wanted to say that there was one person who was singularly responsible for Anna's shit, it would be Zerka. Because Zerka saw that as a good-ass fucking farm material lolcow shit, and he farmed the ever-living fuck. He might have, I bet if you asked Zerka, I bet he would even laugh and say he did. You're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like yeah.
But if Anna's actually streaming about you that much, right, then you would assume that not every stream is going to be containing like super notable information. So if people are talking about it so much every time she boots up a live.
Okay, this is just painful watching Destiny like relitigate the Anna shit for the 50th time with someone that doesn't have like all the information. So I just
can't. I don't know, but this is like the one.
Let's just.
Broader claim is that you seek it out and it's a pattern. You go for them because they have mental illness. That's what I've heard, right?
If that was the case, wait, hold on. If that was the case, why didn't I meet up with Anna after she went crazy the first time then? Why did I never meet with her again? I could have a billion times, right?
Well, it seemed like you were sexting with her, right?
I think we did 1 or 2 times over the next year. But forget sexting. Couldn't I could have very easily flown out and met her, right?
I mean, if you have to do a 1-to-1, sure, I guess it wouldn't be identical, but I think sexting is still like intimate engagement. Obviously it's not nearly as intimate.
Come on. It's such an infantilizing. Whether or not which again, she also initiated every fucking sext or whatever. It's not like I was like begging her or anything. It's her messaging me. Whether or not we sexted a couple times in the course of our year where she was going back and forth on things, I'm clearly not aggressively pursuing this person. If they're the ones that are talking about me constantly, this girl is 32 years old, like 6 months away away from having her clinicians, psychiatrist, or not psychiatrist, but she's going to be like a clinical therapist person. Okay, like how I don't understand how this person has no agency whatsoever. But I'm abusing this person who's stalking me and a-logging me that other people are making content.
Destiny's very clear. She has specific triggers around a specific topic that you continually exploited to keep her on the end of a string.
Out of every single fucking day that Zerka's farming this person, stalking me.
Okay. I do have something to say. It's a little tangential, but it's annoying me. So, Lav, if you want to have your
Then
say,
says nothing has happened yet. What does that mean?
I will invite you on next week to do that, and we can have a talk. We can have a chat, all you want. But for you to spam my DMs calling me dishonest and sweeping because I don't let you on to my platform to monologue. No, fuck off.
I feel like
find some SSRI.
You were fine with Stardust monologuing, to be fair.
Peace,
You're fine with Stardust
I don't
monologuing.
care if you think I'm dishonest, if you think I'm sweeping. I don't. Why would I give a fuck what you think?
She's obviously passionate about this, but Stardust sounded like she was like,
fuck off. Dude, he's such a fucking weirdo, bro. Why would I give a fuck what you think? Fuck off. Such a fucking weirdo.
SSRI,
you were fine with Stardust monologuing, to be fair.
Peace,
You're
fine
fine
God,
with Stardust
I don't
monologuing.
care if you think I'm dishonest, if you think I'm sweeping. I don't. Why would I give a fuck what you think?
She's obviously passionate about this, but Stardust sounded like she was like on the verge of tears as she was discussing this. She was obviously very impassioned. We let her go on an entire monologue.
Stardust is my friend. Stardust has had my back.
I'm glad.
Stardust has done things for me. Stardust gets privileges that Lav, who is not my friend, who I have no connection to, does not. I give privileges to my friends.
So you own the sweeping and bias. Got it.
Do you think that by letting Stardust speak more because she is my friend, that I'm sweeping?
I think yes. I think if your claim is that you are supposedly the reason Lav is not in here is because you take gripe with like the monologuing,
because
and then there's a situation
annoying
that just
me.
occurred. Yeah,
and I don't have to bring someone on who's annoying me.
I don't think you have to at all. I'm just saying the reasoning you provided. The reasoning you provided is inconsistent.
Call the consistency police.
No, I'm just making the descriptive claim. I'm not saying you need to be arrested.
Well, no, you're just like admitting that you're like a terrible moderator, bro.
Okay. Continue on your guys' debate and stuff. I just needed to say that. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, where were we? What were we just saying? What was the point being made? Just totally forgot.
Anna is an adult. They had agency. They were pushing this the entire time. This person was obsessively stalk covering me for a year, going live on her stream, screaming and crying, responding to things in chat. There were people that were intentionally spinning her up. Some from Kiwi Farm, some from Zerka's community, some from... I'm sure there must have been at least a couple from my community. But if I caught people doing it, if she passed me the name, I would ban them from my stream. I ban all commentary about her from my stream. I wouldn't let people... Obviously, there was no host or raid, or they couldn't mention things or whatever. I saw people doing it, I would ban it. I did everything I could to not have people engaging with her or to not give her something to engage on. I couldn't control every single other peripheral community around me.
I've never expected you to. I don't expect you to do that, right?
Sure, but like, there's no way that this could be listed as an example of me like abusing somebody or chasing. Like, there was. I don't know what the fuck else I'm.
You should go read all the logs. Go read the shits in the Miss Girl manifesto. It's just like so fucking insane. The shit this guy was pulling. She's like begging to have her public reputation like set right because he's calling her a stalker while they're still having interactions behind the scenes. He's like, maybe one day, but for now, I'm just keep rubbing your legs and feet.
So it sounds like other people make that. My gripe here, based on the story you've described to me per your own wording, is like the claim of stalking. Because at least how I view stalking, I've seen it as like repeated, like unwanted, unreciprocated contact. When like someone has clearly made efforts to distance themselves from the party involved, and they continuously attempt to get in contact despite this. I think that would be stalking, and I feel like the stalking claim like doesn't necessarily work if like you're admitting.
Well, the stalking claim was she wanted to talk to me every single time about these things that would come up. We did this a little bit where I would remove comments, but then she would spiral over and over and over again. And especially if I was streaming and I couldn't respond to her, then she would go live and then she would start complaining. And it was reaching out to me. It was reaching out to Melina, my wife. It was probably reaching out to other people in the community. Regardless of how you view any of this, though, my community was not a-logging Anna. There was no a-log. I don't even know if there's anything to a-log. She's just live on her stream every day, crying and screaming about me.
Well, if they're monitoring her streams every when she's going live,
who's they? One person in my community?
It was one person in your community that was talking about it when she went live.
No, my community was banned from talking about her. They weren't allowed to mention her going live. They couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, you seems like you did that in response to a-logging. That's why I'm not saying that you were.
Hold on. Every single mention of another stream. Come on, Wick. I'm gonna lose my mind. Why are you doing this?
Seems like that's the logic you guys are applying with Stardust and Kuihman. So I'm just
Kuihman. If I were to go and look at Film Rot or whatever the fuck, what's that thing called, and try to figure out how many times Kuihman has mentioned Stardust. How many times do you think she's come up in his
lot.
fucking YouTube channel?
Probably like in all of his streams. I don't know, like fucking 200 or something. Or we're talking about
probably
like,
more.
If we're talking about offhand
200
remarks,
times?
that's not that much.
Like, I mean,
we've been going live for years, right? I've had like if you find someone like funny and like worth making fun of or whatever, and they're just like your personal like lolcow or whatever, that would actually not be like a huge number.
Oh, Lav's leaking my DMs in JStalk server.
Yeah, of course she does. She always does this. So
she's great.
Somebody in my community responding to somebody like talking about them is not like that's not a-logging.
So
if I'm screaming, if I go live and I start screaming about Gisticle, and Gisticle, like, for instance, Gisticle has been going live over the past, I think, 2 weeks or whatever, talking about me. He's not a-logging me there. He's responding to the things that I'm saying about him. You agree with that, right? Gisticle's not a-logging me over the past 2 weeks, right?
Sure, but even when he's covering shit that you're involved with like other people and it's not a direct response, I still say that's a-logging, right? I don't view a-logging as like...
No, nobody uses it this way.
I think people...
You don't think you're using a definition that nobody else in the community uses.
That's not true. You don't think the term a-logging is applied to like the repeated persistence and often frequent coverage of a single individual that you take issue with?
What definition did you just read there? And tell me which part of that definition.
I'm not reading. That's my definition. I'm not. You keep saying I'm reading shit. If you want me to wear a blindfold, I will. Like
you just pulled that random sling of words, like
yes. I don't know what to tell you. Like you keep.
Well, you really just responding to my point with a clear definition of this term that I'm trying to use in a nebulous way to brute force my point through. Oh, you must be reading that.
Excuse me, reading shit. I'm not fucking. I'm not reading.
You get some ChatGPT.
That's my definition.
Okay, man.
I might have read.
Okay.
I might like at most. No, actually, I'm not. No.
A-logging is when you are obsessively covering somebody, generally with a hateful turn. It's not responding to somebody though. When Gisticle's going live, every day, every night, or whatever the fuck over the past 2 weeks, like covering me, he's responding to me attacking him. He's not a-logging.
Has the bulk of his negative coverage about you just been responding to what you say about him?
No, of course.
Yeah,
not.
of course. Yes, we agree, and that would be a-logging, right?
No. I don't know. No. Generally, other people a-log for him, but that's a totally different thing. I'm just saying that if I'm going live at first, but I'm not even responding to Anna's coverage of me. People in my stream or people around me sometimes would notice that Anna is going live and screaming about me because she would reach out to me. She'd reach out to other content creators. She would sometimes go in other chats and start typing and spamming. That's not other people a-logging her. She's like a-logging herself. Nobody is a-logging her except for maybe a few of the Kiwi farmers that might
just
watch
real
her
quick.
festival.
Lav can come on if she brings JStalk. If she brings JStalk and JStalk comes on too, I will allow you both on. I think that's fair.
Dude, he's so creepy, bro.
I think that's fair. JStalk, why don't you come on stream so that Destiny can twist the knife into this random unrelated person that he's already victimized in other ways? Why don't you just come on stream so that Destiny can do this to you?
You've given her a burden she can't meet.
He's such a freak,
by
bro.
not letting her speak.
I just don't know if a few people in my chat, which wasn't even happening, but were watching Anna's stream when she went live to cry and scream about me, that means that my community was a-logging Anna? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think if you're following like she's a nobody, right? Besides her association with you.
A dick in hand,
like,
bro.
Obviously, like people in your
dick in
community would be like
hand
naturally
saying this
interested, but if they're covering like every like 20 viewer live stream, I'd say yeah, it's persistent, frequent, repeated coverage.
My community wasn't doing this though. The only time people knew is if she would try to get other people to notice.
So why did you, per your own admission, like tell them to go to Kiwi Farms instead?
This was months and months after, because then people started posting on it, and then instead of referencing her streams, people in my chat would say something like, hey, did you see this thing about blah, 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 blah? And then because so many people would keep bringing it up without mentioning her name, we had a 1 minute moratorium or anti-moratorium on Anna posting, and I said, if you want to talk about Anna, go to the fucking thread and do it. Don't do it to my community. We're not going to have people spinning all this shit up on my community. That's the only time I've ever said this.
So your community, so your community was a-logging her, and then you took corrective measures.
You're fucking retarded.
Right?
I'm sorry.
How is that not? How is that not? You have no response. You have no. Anything happens to me. Yeah, just like threats. No substance.
What do you mean no substance? What do you think I would feel like if Gisticle and all these other people, if Gisticle and all these other people were to say, guys, we're not going to talk about Destiny anymore. If you want to talk about it, go to Kiwi Farms. What do you think I would say?
Listen to what the standard is. He wants people to stop talking about them.
No. Sorry, say it one more time.
If Gisticle and all these other Gisticle, Kuihman, wow, the Substance guy, all these other people, if they were to say, guys, we're not going to talk about Destiny anymore. If you want to talk about Destiny, go to Kiwi Farms. What do you think I would say?
You probably wouldn't care about any of these people. Sure. But I'm not.
Yes, I would
but
say
I don't take.
amen.
But I don't.
Amen.
But
amen.
yes, but
It's not
I'm
the same
dispute,
thing. It's not the same thing.
The dispute. No, okay. There's never gonna be like a 1-to-1 just because two things aren't identical.
No, it's not even of the same kind of thing. I'm not maliciously linking Anna's Kiwi Farms thread, right?
Okay. So
this is Aiden. Just real quick, not to double team you here, but I am going to a little.
Go ahead.
This is why people are like. I don't know if you're being honest here. It's very hard to believe.
What if
that
I-
you're
this is-
being...
Dude, literally, it's like the only way you can either you're lying to yourself or you just don't know any of this stuff. Just go look into the Anna stuff for 20 minutes, Whick, you fucking moron.
This is the just so you know, this is the narrative talking point that the soccer people desperately have to hold on to me, because the Anna story is the most important thing that Mr. Girl, fuck, Aiden might actually be a Mr. Girl fucking rape fan. I don't know, but this is
No,
like
I
the
was a
one
fan
thing
of
that they
you.
have
Believe it or
to
not.
hold on. This is the one thing they have to hold on to as hard as anything, because if the Anna story falls apart, all of Lav and Mr. Girl's obsessive justifications completely fall apart, and that's basically all they have for my history of crazy abusive shit when it comes to other women. So they
Except the non-consensual sharing of sexual imagery, the alleged non-consensual recording, the shit with Brett. You know, I don't want to get into that again. Gross, but you know, whatever extent that is true is not good. Literally, no matter how much of it is true.
Anna thing is like he can never give on this. I have to have linked that thread in a malicious manner. My community has to have been a-logging Anna. I have to have been telling my community she was crazy.
They were. That was happening.
All these things have to, none of these things he can give on. It doesn't matter how much I say or how many facts are presented or whatever else is going on.
Do you think I like?
No way
do you think I like that they have these talking points against you? Do you think I like that?
Of course. Yes, it makes things nice and easy.
You can hear
when
I was a fucking huge fan of yours. Okay, it's disappointing. It's like disappointing as shit. I don't
Why
like
does that matter?
that they have
Yes, the strongest anti-fans come from
but you're
ex-fans.
saying you're trying to but you're trying to argue that I have some like predisposed bias against you. When if anything, I'm actually upset like that they have something here, right? Because
that's not how anti-fanning works. When you become an anti-fan, you don't have a predisposed. That was maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. How long ago was the Anna shit even? 6 years ago?
Like 22, 20.
I was cool with you up until the Pixie shit.
Wasn't the Anna stuff like during COVID? It
was the Pixie shit that turned
21.
So that was 5 years ago? You're saying you have a predisposition to liking things I'm saying because you were a fan of mine 5 or 6 years ago?
No, I was a
That's
fan of yours up
crazy.
until the Pixie shit dropped.
That's fine. Then 2 years
all
ago.
these other arguments, all these other like anti-fan arguments, whatever, I heard afterwards because I started talking to people who were making the criticisms against you. When I was informed of these arguments, they seem to be sound and valid, so I've accepted them. What you've presented to me to refute them doesn't make any sense. Right? That's what I've been.
What doesn't make sense?
Sure.
Hold on, Whick, play this one. Here, 2 minutes.
Okay, DM it to me. Hold on. All right, I got to get past all the DMs. Okay, let me bring it up on screen. Full screen it. Everyone there? Everyone watching?
Yep.
This is a Zerka panel, by the way. Yep. Literally told my community.
But you never
me and Anna are fine,
apologized, though.
Everything is okay. Everything's chill. But then, like, 2
But
weeks
no,
later,
you didn't,
you'll
though.
randomly come back and be like, oh,
But
like, you
Steven-
laughed during this, or oh, this happened, or blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is all I want. I want
Right.
to be in a world where neither of us ever mentions either person ever again publicly, ever. We don't have to talk privately. We don't have to say anything publicly, and then just move on. I've had this same conversation with you like 5 times, but it is impossible for you to hold fast to this. You cannot do it, because as soon as you agree to it, which
It's crazy he's saying when he can't hold fast to it either. He keeps going back to.
you have in the past publicly on stream before that we won't
But
talk anymore. we
Steven,
never
that's
mention each other publicly.
because
Then like
you
2 weeks later,
don't-
you'll be tweeting shit about me every fucking time. You've done this over and over.
Because
every
people,
year.
because you haven't taken any responsibility for it. You haven't said like, but you haven't said like, I was wrong for saying that stuff. Like you never said that. Like
Anna, he says you're her.
Anna, I don't agree with you. Anna, we don't say I don't. I'm never gonna quote unquote take responsibility, because your idea of me taking responsibility is saying that everything that happened was my fault. I don't agree with that. I think.
I mean, I don't say that. No, but I say that I fucked up. Sure, but like but like literally the things you did were emotionally abusive, and you've admitted to this to me. Like
you do so many manipulative abusive things. I don't care. I just gotta move on.
This is you deflecting though. This is you deflecting.
Maybe.
But you're gonna.
How long are we doing this?
Wait, I mean that's enough. Like I cannot get rid
No,
of
keep
this
that
person.
going.
I've tried.
Keep
Even
that
in this
going.
conversation, I've tried to get rid of this person. They are getting hosted on platforms, mainly on fucking Zerka's show, and I cut Zerka off for like a fucking year after this. They continue to find. It's not even my video.
Did you sext her after this exchange?
I think by the time after this one, I don't think we did anymore. I think after
sure
this,
it's
she had like one big final huge crash. I think on this thing. But even if I did, it wouldn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
It would matter for your claim. It would matter for. I'm not making. It would matter for your claims. You're making the claims against her, right? It would matter for the claim that she's stalking you.
My claim is that I want her to stop talk. Yes.
Yeah. So a good way to
do
a start would probably be to not actively, sext her, right?
She's the one pursuing me. She's trying to add me. She's trying to.
Dude.
I don't know, Stephen. I kind of think you and your first wife's history of domestic violence with a baby in the house is probably more abusive, but yeah, you're right. This is probably the most important thing.
Isn't that a mixing up of stories and relationships? I'm not 100% sure. Thank you for the $10, Jimmy. Thank you. Huge appreciated.
To add my girlfriend, she's trying to add other people, she's hopping up panels. I don't think we did after this one or whatever, but like every strategy that I have, ignoring her didn't work, being friends with her kind of worked a little bit. She tried to be sexual with me, we were sexual a little bit, that kind of whatever. But then eventually we go back, and then we be friends, and then we go back, and then we be friends, and then we go back. This happened for like 2 years.
So if somebody's like an obsessive, if somebody's like obsessed with you, don't you think like
Bro,
sex
you're
and
fucking
continues to lead
retarded.
them on?
You're so fucking retarded. It's not. It's her fault. Do you acknowledge that it's her fault?
That it's
100%.
Well, it's not like I'm not like a kid. It's not like it's one person's fault. Like, or I'm saying both. There were wrongdoings.
Who's the one that is driving? No, motherfucker. Who's driving the interactions on every single engagement? Who's the one that's pushing it every single time?
She's the one talking about you because she's
yes. And then who's hosting panels to have things about it, to make content and memes about it? It wasn't me, right?
Yeah, but you're calling into those panels, and then you were after describing her as an obsessive stalker, actively sexting her, thus continuing the cycle.
Yeah, he's describing me as abusive and evil or whatever after trying to get into my relationship.
Do you not?
What? So what?
Do you not think stalking, if that's what happened, do you not think stalking is more likely to persist when you sex the person you believe and describe as stalking you?
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with anything I've ever done to any girl as long as they've also had sex with me. Then, right?
There's nothing wrong you've done to.
Dude, no one's saying she behaved perfectly. What the fuck is the point here, dude? He's literally lost it. He's literally losing it on this point. This just shows how rapey he is on this fucking story.
Whether or not I engaged at all sexually with her has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does. Because it has to do with your claim that she was stalking you.
Housekeeping thing. It's a housekeeping thing.
That would justify her compulsively going live and talking about me every single fucking day.
Give me a sec. Just a housekeeping thing, because I'm actually not sure. Counterpoints wants to ask you a question.
No, fuck no. He can go diddle his own kids again. Fuck that guy. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Dude, literally just raging out and won't talk to Counterpoints.
Never mind, it was the baby mama, not the first wife. Life goes fast in the trailer park.
Dude, thank you for the $5, Jimmy. Huge appreciated. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Wait, what? What was that claim? Is that a new claim you guys have come up with?
Nothing justifies Anna talking about me obsessively for years. Nothing does.
So I can probably agree. If I was to look at this, nobody's like...
You can't even agree with that?
No.
You think there might be a justification for talking about me for years?
Okay, but if you acknowledge this person had a mental illness that predisposed them to obsession, I don't know why feeding into that obsession by actively sexting them would get it to persist.
I'm saying that nothing...
I'm responding to your claim that she was stalking you.
I don't care, but no. My claim is nothing... Okay, we'll drop stalking since you don't want to own any strong claim against anybody.
Well, no, did she stalk you or not?
You never will. You never will. She did. Most people would agree with that, but you'll never own a strong claim against me. That's fine.
People are not sexting people they describe as stalking them. Stalking is persistent, unwanted contact and following.
You don't think anybody weaponizes sex, especially against men? Really?
That wasn't the claim I just made. That wasn't the claim I just made.
Hold on, stop. You don't think that people have sex with people that they're stalking?
I'm not a sexual degenerate. That's like sucking dick and has a butt plug in and fucking BPD forwards every week and then complaining that they're stalking me.
There we go. All the personal attacks. Yes, get them all out here.
What did you say? Playing victim, attacking and then playing victim. That's literally all you know how to do.
Playing victim?
Yes.
I'm talking about nothing.
Yeah, dude, literally the MRA shit is unbearable, bruh.
Women weaponize sex against men.
Shut up. Holy fuck. Give me a fucking break, man. Holy shit. If that's a problem in your life, women keep weaponizing sex against you, you are doing something horrendously wrong. I'm not gonna lie. Like, clearly, it's you know, unless I can imagine in a marriage, you know, there's something that could be going on there. A long-term marriage or something could be going on there. You're in casual sexual relationships. It's a consistent issue for you that women are weaponizing sex against you. That's a you problem. That's a you problem.
Insane that he uses the same old blood sports telling and screaming strats while soy raging about the woman he lusted after. The arguments are so weak, screaming doesn't bolster them, it just impresses his audience who seal clap over how can she slap.
That's facts. Thank you for the dono. Hugely appreciate it. Thank you.
Stalking them. Stalking is persistent, unwanted contact and following.
Weaponizes sex, especially against men? Really?
That wasn't the claim I just made. That wasn't the claim I just made.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on. You don't think that people have sex with people that they're stalking?
I'm not a sexual degenerate. That's like sucking dick and has a butt plug in and fucking BPD forwards every week and then complaining that there's...
A guy once told me he had 2 false accusations against him. I didn't become friends with him. Yeah.
Stalking it.
It'd be a
There
little
we
bit
go.
like that.
Oh, the personal attacks. Yes, get them all out here.
Oh,
What did you say? 6
playing
months ago, you
victim,
wanted to rape and
attacking,
cut
and
that
then
woman's
playing
throat?
victim. That's
Hold on.
literally all you know how to do.
Attacking and playing victim?
Yes.
Well, I'm talking about
I
nothing
only
justifies.
personally attacked you because you went in for personal attack.
Nothing justifies. Well, you're making retarded claims. Nothing justifies Anna talking about me obsessively every single day. Nothing does, right?
Sure, but she's
She's somebody. No.
She's
So
somebody.
it is justified or it's not. I need a binary or a percentage on that. What could possibly justify her going public and talking about me every single day? What could justify that?
Well, she probably believed you had emotionally hurt her in some.
So it's justified. If she's saying things that are incorrect, that would obviously be wrong. But the reality is that she was a very mentally ill person with lowered agency, who was responding to a difficult situation that you were helping put upon her.
Sense, and she would solve something by talking about you, but I believe that wouldn't be an adequate justification because I don't think talking about you was going to resolve that if she was talking about you every day.
So then nothing justifies her going live and talking about me, messaging my wife, messaging other content creators, going into other streams.
That's irrational behavior from somebody that you've already admitted has a mental illness.
No, fuck, irrational?
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. They're irrational and crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy when you need to smear them, but then they have all the agency in the world when it's time to defend.
This guy is pretty weird.
Thank you for the dono. Thank you. Huge appreciate it.
And yourself.
Somebody can have mental issues and still have agency.
Yes, I agree, but it seems like you were using her obsessive nature against her and then complaining that she was obsessive after you fed into this relationship by sexting her.
I do think it's wild. I do think it's wild that we, again, Aiden, came on to discuss your debate with Destiny and also who's still spreading my docs. And now here we are litigating the Anna stuff for the second time.
I've just taken this wherever you wanted to go with it. You're the one that wanted the conversation. If you feel like things like off topic or whatever, I can.
Wait, with nothing to add.
This is content, so I'm letting it ride. But
yeah,
sure. Hold on. Okay, one more. You play. I guess like a minute from here or whatever.
Okay, give me a second. Let me bring it up. Ready? Go.
You know that you were psychologically abusive to me, Steven. Don't deny it. Come on, don't gaslight. But Steven, you literally ignored me. You gave me the silent treatment. You did the stonewalling.
When they sent you 50 fucking DMs, it's not abuse, Anna.
Steven, that was after you were ignoring me for literally months because I know you were doing that out of anger and control. And my own therapist said this.
I was like,
stop. Okay, stop. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't believe I let you fucking retards hijack this narrative so much because you're so obsessed with the pedophile rapist, Mr. Girl, and I know you are. You have the art. You absolutely have the archetype for it, and that leaked call from 6 months ago fucking shows it. Okay, 100.
That's it. He just it's so crazy, man. He goes back and forth. Yes, if you actually went no contact with her, you would be doing the responsible thing and holding the boundary. But when you go back and forth. Yeah, she does kind of get, I don't know if I completely buy into this idea that it's just like abuse. It depends what else was going on there. But she just get more of an argument. She just get more of an agreement. Because you weren't just going no contact. You're going pseudo no contact, smearing as a stalker publicly, and then re-engaging, right? There's like a multi-pronged thing happening here that is, obviously a massive, what would you say, like pressure generator for someone with this sort of pathology.
100%. You have the archetype of a Mr. Girl fucking rapist.
I don't like Mr. Girl.
She just said in that call that I was ignoring her for months. What the fuck?
So, first of all, I have to see the context, but do you not think that if the narrative is being perpetuated, that you used her obsessive nature against her, right? Apparently you said, and I'm reading this one because someone said it in my chat. I'll tell you exactly where I'm reading it from. Apparently you said to her that you would, fix her reputation or something while you were sexting her. It seems like you've been somebody that's been willing to use that obsessive nature when it benefits you, and obviously giving her just enough to keep the obsession going, and then withholding affection absolutely can keep it going, so you just don't feed into it, right? You just don't sext her at all. You disengage completely.
The fixing her reputation is when one of the things that she would loop about, and there are DMs from her mod coming into my chat to talk about, oh God, watch out guys, she's looping again, don't talk about her. The fixing reputation was me trying to delete every bad thing about her on the internet. That was me fixing reputation. So me asking Abba to remove the video where he covered her massive crash out.
Lie. Aren't you more concerned with Melina finding out? Not so much what your fanbase thinks. But also, it's not like I'm some crazy person about it. You could just say you exaggerated. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, okay, lol. And maybe in the future, yeah, tease me and make me tweet it out sometimes. Oh, true. Now you're giving me ideas, lots of ideas. I'll fix it sometime publicly, okay? Until then, you can work on your essays on your bed while I rub your legs and feet, okay?
Me asking creators in the space, please don't talk about it or ban the thing in your chat if you see it. Me trying to go back to my Reddit history for old threads about her deleting it. That's me fixing her reputation. It's not like I'm saying, like, you have to sext me and then I'll fix your reputation, blah, blah, blah. This never happened.
You don't think... You don't think that would...
No, stop, dude. You can't keep doing this. You don't think. What? She is constantly bringing me up. Even after ignoring her for months, she's messaging everybody around me. You can talk to other content creators saying that I'm abusing her. When I do ignore her, she's saying it's because I'm abusing her by ignoring her. When I talk to her, she's saying I'm abusing her and manipulating her by talking to her. You can't keep doing this. Well, don't you think that? She's driving this, all of this.
Okay, so it seems like this person is obviously has some like emotional
mentally ill. Don't you think it's the same thing? This is it.
Well,
you guys are broken records.
No. I'm saying you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Both ways.
You paint her as mentally. Then when I invoke it, I'm supposedly trying to take away her agency. You're the one who said she had OCD.
Can you just address Aiden, please? Can you just address?
She does have reduced agency. That's just the case.
On that stream that we just saw, just real quick, on the stream that we just saw, Anna said that Destiny hadn't talked to her for months. And she considered that abuse.
And she was messaging people around me saying it was abuse. And she was on these panels saying that I was an abuser.
Sure.
Like,
I don't think the way. I don't think the way to. I don't think.
What is he like? If he can't not talk to her because that's going to be painted as abuse, and she's going to talk to people like this is abusive. This person's abusing me. This person's an abuser, and go on streams and do streams about it. And if he does talk to her, then he's abusing a mentally ill woman. Like you're putting him in a no-win.
That's
situation.
not true. Do you not think in like situations of stalking, do you think anybody would be advised to engage with the person at all? That has been like obviously you've just said he ignored her, right? But if the narrative is
people don't have public lives. It's easy. Like BPD people are easy to treat in real life. You just ice them out. You don't talk about them. Online, they start making fucking twit-longers about you, or they start dating your ops secretly, and then they go on their stream for 6 months to talk shit about you.
So if a claim gains traction that she's made, then you just go and address that like publicly, dispute it. And if she has nothing, then it collapses, and you could just
That's not how. That's
not. Oh my god, bro, he's fucking retarded. Hold on, just curious. Did somebody? Did you suck?
Bro, literally everyone thought Anna was totally insane. Nobody ever took anything she was saying seriously. It's so retarded.
Guy's dick 6 months ago. Did this happen, or did some guy suck your dick 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you just say you don't get engaged in degenerate behavior then?
I'm sorry, it's degenerate behavior to have
a guy suck your dick? Are you?
Oh, Desi, being gay is degenerate. Oh, okay.
You gay?
Isn't there literally a video of you on the internet sucking a random guy's dick?
Motherfucker? Are you gay?
I'm bi-curious.
Dude, I don't.
Bi-curious, motherfucker?
I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
Dude.
Fried rice, chow mein.
This is Aiden.
Orange chicken, beef and broccoli with some sweet and sour sauce, some soy sauce, and sriracha chili sauce.
Bi-curious is before the mouth is because you called me degenerate as a fucking insult earlier. What the fuck?
Okay, so I've only had sexual activity probably with like enough people to name on one hand.
You're 21 years old. No shit.
Well,
I don't care.
Okay, your 20s are sort of the time when you're going around.
I don't want to know. Please
you're
don't
21. You're not in your 20s. You're 21.
Well, yeah.
Okay, please don't tell me. Okay, this is gone.
Sure, that's fine. I'm sorry.
If anything, I'd understand your shit. I'd understand your shit more if you were maybe like in your early 20s. I feel like that's like more of the appropriate time where you're going around like fucking like a bunch of random people and shit, maybe, right? But like, you know, I feel like this would be the time where where you would try shit out and get it out of the way.
Stop defending getting a gay blowjob, Aiden. How about you just stop defending it?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, I didn't have any guy experience when I was 21. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Enough.
Yeah, only when you're 40 and the videos are all up on the internet for the world to see, I guess.
Last, because I'm
okay.
I am done with this conversation. It's gone on in circles, and we've looped and looped and looped and looped and looped, and I think it's time to have some closing thoughts. And let me just ask you, Aiden, as a last thing, and then you can give your final thoughts on the matter, and we can wrap this up. Earlier, right? A couple weeks ago, you called on everyone to rally around to fight against Destiny and DGG and things like that. Given what you know now and the interactions you've had since, do you stand by that call to action, or have you become more neutral? That's what I want.
Whenever he says something that I believe to be dishonest, and then it's perpetuated. Yeah, I am. This is actually a fucking answer. So whenever he perpetuates something that I believe to be dishonest, and then a million like random like sock accounts are perpetuating that narrative, etc., I say, you know what? If they respond with like five of those sock accounts reiterate his claims, have 10 that reiterate the claim that you can argue is truthful, right? So yes, that call to action would remain if there's anything that is said that I believe is a lie.
Okay, so currently that call to action is in force.
If he lies, if I believe he lies, yeah.
Do you believe he's lying?
I think he's lied about certain things, yeah. I don't think the whole, I don't think.
So it is still in force?
Yes, in response to the lies that get
that's all I
disseminated.
wanted to know.
Yes.
Okay. Give your final thoughts on the matter. And then please, I will remind you, I do want to know who's spreading my docs. And you can take your time, find out, be accurate, and just let me know when that happens. But final thoughts, and then we'll get Destiny's final thoughts, and then I am done with all of you for now, okay?
Yeah, fuck this space. I'll be glad when my court case is over so I can burn all these motherfuckers to the ground because the people here are fucking insane. It's annoying the crazy myths that are existing of me being this manipulator, abuser. Like, people have desperately clung on to these for years. There has never been a leak, never been a DM, and I probably have more shit about me, more fuck videos, more cringy fucking sex, more whatever fucking romantic message that have leaked about me than any other fucking content creator on the space. And guess what? There haven't ever been messages of me saying, I want to fucking slit this fucking woman's throat. I want to fucking murder this motherfucker.
No, there's messages of you saying you hope she gets raped to death with a shovel. I made an
Dude, thank God Aiden's got one. I was gonna say, this guy's made so many violent comments, bro.
edgy joke that you're trying to describe. I've never used that comment against you, by the way.
Excuse
I've only
me,
used it.
that was not a leak. That was a post on my public Twitter, you fucking retard. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Why would it be?
Oh, sorry. So he makes less edgy jokes in private? That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Leaked or not, change the nature of the statement.
Doesn't make a lot of sense with literally any argument that Destiny's made about the topic in the past ever, actually. Given that he's always said that you should be edgy, you should be allowed to be edgier in private, and that he is edgier in private because you don't have the responsibility of a public platform and the influence you have over other people. He's literally argued this a million fucking times over.
Because you're trying to hide it. Because you're trying to hide it.
How am I trying to hide it? How am I trying to hide it?
You just said it was in a private room, didn't you? It was in a private room that wasn't supposed to leak anywhere, right?
I'm sorry. If you're having a conversation with somebody one-on-one, are you trying to hide all the contents of that? I was merely making a joke.
Was it one-on-one?
Okay, not everything is a one-to-one. A comparison can still work, even if the quantity...
I'm just saying...
Yes, so even if the quantity is not exact, it can still be compared, right?
All I'm saying is that of all the crazy shit that's ever been fucking said about me and all the fucking leaks and everything else, nothing is ever leaked to even remotely substantiate the crazy fucking things that people believe about me. Meanwhile, we just went through 30 fucking pages of Doobie talking about how he's got fucking kids on his mod team that they're flying out to meet while he copies child porn from members of his server.
I think that's all crazy.
He's got a secret fucking... No, you don't give a fuck and you'll never talk about it again. I know you won't. You're going to be fucking friends with this dude tomorrow.
I don't talk to him.
Tomorrow. I don't know.
I don't talk to him.
Bro, and you don't talk about Cherry. You don't talk about Gisticle. I looked at your channel. There's like 15 mentions of it. There's 15 mentions of it ever. This guy said he wanted to be Cherry's Dr. K. He wanted to take care of her forever while he brought this woman onto his stream to fucking rape her mind so that she would continue to talk about his ops until he used her, abused her, burned her the fuck.
I'm skipping this gross retard.
Messaging all those other people around you.
Yeah, Cherry's spoken about this already.
Talk about you? Was it to talk about you, like in particular, or was it just to talk about?
No,
you're such a fucking
I'm asking. I gave you my definition for stalking, which you didn't dispute.
We're ending the stream. We're ending the stream.
Got it.
I'm tired. I'm hungry. My doggy needs me, and I need to take her on a walk. This has been a shit show. But thank you both for coming on and get me that information, Aiden.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Subtaten Underground. Bye. Anyways, oh shit, I missed everybody's DMs. Fuck. The problem is I don't read people's DMs when I'm debating. Okay, people. I actually did get DMs from some people that I should have looked at. The problem is I don't read it. Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting conversation. It's really weird because it was done at Whick's insistence. I let the conversation go exactly where he wanted it to go. And it was very interesting how it's...
Wow. We did it, guys. Watch most of it. I skipped a lot of it.